Yep, perfect timing.
Good afternoon to our jury. State may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Officer Jeremy Phillips.
Good afternoon, officer. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right. When you get there, please stand and raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in. Sir, please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
First name is Jeremy, spelled Jeremy. My last name is Phillips, Phillips.
How are you employed, sir?
I'm employed with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement for a total of 14 years next month.
All with the City of Waukesha?
I have about 5 months with the City of Dodgeville Police Department in Wisconsin. The rest is with the City of Waukesha.
All right. Sir, I'd like to direct your attention to the date of November 21 of 2021, please. Were you working that afternoon?
I was working that afternoon, yes.
What was your duty?
What it is. Let me share this bitch. We back. Hey, yo. Did you turn in earlier?
11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I was knocked the fuck out.
Were you aware there was a parade taking place in downtown Waukesha that afternoon?
I was aware that there was a Christmas parade downtown Waukesha.
Were you directly assigned to work the parade?
I was not assigned to work the parade.
You said you were one of the officers that was just involved in general patrol of the city that afternoon.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. I'd like to direct your attention to time around 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the afternoon. Do you recall getting dispatched to Frame Park?
I do recall being dispatched there, yes.
Do you know the exact time you were dispatched?
I believe it was 4:52 p.m. approximately there.
Okay. And where is Frame Park located?
Frame Park is rather large, but it's generally located in the downtown.
Got my man rocking with me. What it is, bro?
Rock Avenue and Baxter Avenue.
What was the nature of the complaint you were responding to?
I received a complaint to respond in emergency fashion, which means lights.
Oh, no, you Gucci.
Or subjects fighting in the park with a knife allegedly involved.
I wasn't even in this bitch.
I was in the patrol
let me finish saying.
of Eastmoreland, roughly at East Main Street at the time. That's where I was responding from.
Was Main Street shut down at the time for the parade?
Main Street where I was responding from was not, no.
Okay. I guess let me ask a better question. Were you able to travel along Main Street to get to Frame Park? From where you were located to get to where you needed to go, did you travel on Main Street?
I did not travel on Main Street to get to Frame Park.
Okay. And which direction did you come in from then?
I came in on Eastmoreland, westbound, to White Rock Avenue, westbound.
And as you approached the area, could you see individuals associated with the parade?
Yes, I could, as I neared the vicinity.
What do you remember seeing?
As I neared the vicinity of White Rock Avenue at Baxter, directly in front of me appeared to be a unmarked patrol vehicle, silver in color, which was blocking the roadway at White Rock Avenue and Hartwell Avenue. And I believe off to the side, I could also see a marked patrol vehicle.
Could you see any floats or people participating in the parade?
At that particular time, as I arrived in the vicinity, I did not. I just saw the side of a squad car with emergency lights activated. It wasn't until a little while later I saw that there were floats and such on the other side.
I hate when they bring these police up. Like, just cause it's them. It mainly telling the truth. Shit don't mean nothing.
That belonged to Sergeant Dave Warner.
Where did you go?
When I arrived to the area, initial dispatch information stated that this alleged fight involving a knife was somewhere in the vicinity of the Shootsy building where the boat ramp was. based on my training and experience of that vicinity.
Based on they always say that.
Rental checkout is on the back side of the Shootsy building. So that's the initial area I responded to and where my attention was drawn to.
This time, Your Honor, I'm going to ask for permission to put up Exhibit 1, which is the map of the area we've been working on.
Permission granted.
You see that item in front of you, Officer Phillips, on the screen?
I do now.
Okay. So that is a touch screen in front of you. If you want to draw or circle or anything like that, you may, or you can just simply talk. I would like you to identify for us where you came in to the area.
Well, it's not really blown up, so.
No, if you want it blown up, we can blow it up from our table. Sorry. We'll zoom in.
If you wouldn't mind, where it says Frame Park in the upper right-hand corner, that would be what's like the vicinity that I probably responded to.
Is that good?
That will suffice.
Okay.
So I responded in a direction on White Rock Avenue. Coming this way. This now is Baxter Avenue, which I was making a right-hand turn onto. And right about in this parking lot area is where the Shootsy building exists. And then there would be a boardwalk and some trails behind that one.
Okay. And you drove in that area first, right?
Correct.
What were you looking for?
At that time, I was looking for anybody suspicious that may be involved in a fight, somebody carrying a weapon, somebody that might have been battered or bruised or obviously injured or need help.
Okay. Did you see anybody?
I did not.
Did you drive around a little bit?
I drove around in the parking lot of the Shootsy building. There was another officer already on scene who, from my understanding, was already on foot in and around the vicinity of the Shootsy building and advised that they could not find anybody at the Shootsy building.
Man, you need to pay attention, man.
Phillips, do you see White Rock School on this map?
I do, yes.
Could you put an X on White Rock School?
White Rock School is this elongated building right here. So we'll draw.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, B Sparrow?
And you said the.
Thanks for tapping in, man. Share this to your social medias.
To the north.
Get a conversation going.
Correct.
Okay. And Baxter is the road closest to the river.
Got my man Yana here. He always rocking with me.
Just like a walking path or something, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
My bad.
Um,
No sound again, yo?
Another officer's out on foot. What do you do?
Oh no, that was a different message.
The officer came over the radio and stated he could not find anybody in the vicinity. I was listening and monitoring the radio, and at some point, what I thought was a reserve officer came over and said that they were speaking with a couple of subjects potentially involved. So at that time, I got on the radio and said I was going to attempt
That should be
call.
doing that.
I didn't exactly know who this reserve officer was speaking to, how many subjects were involved, if they were actually involved, or just a witness to the situation. All of that information was completely unbeknownst to me, so I decided I should probably go meet with a reserve officer and figure out who these subjects are and what the involvement was.
This reserve
I should
officer
keep
was
going.
working as part of the parade, is that right?
He was in the
My bad, man. This thing be geeking sometimes.
Okay. So did you drive down there?
I started to drive in that general direction towards White Rock Avenue in Hartwell, which is where Dave Warner and
I'm gonna comment on YouTube.
Before I could fully reach that intersection, there was approximately 3 subjects off to my right-hand side on the sidewalk that were yelling, screaming, and waving like flagging me down. The way that they were doing this, they appeared to be in distress. They appeared that they needed immediate help. It certainly appeared that they needed to speak with somebody in law enforcement.
Can you put a small X on the map in the approximate area where you met up with these 3 individuals, or they were waving at you?
It would have been about halfway between Baxter and where Sergeant Waters' squad was parked. So again, this is going to be an approximation, but I'm going to put that X right about here.
So I assume you pulled over.
I pulled over, I rolled down my passenger window, and two of the subjects started yelling that their friend had been assaulted. So it was right at that point that they started trying to tell me that their friend had been assaulted.
I don't know if he's sleeping or not, y'all. He need to wake his ass up, though.
Came over to the radio on the primary dispatch channel that something had happened downtown and somebody had been hit. At that point, my attention started to get a little bit diverted because hearing that on the radio is not something that just happens every day. That perks you up pretty quickly to figure out, you know, that could be serious injury, that could be more often needed.
You know what's crazy?
My attention away briefly. And I look back at the subjects.
I was on this trial before a lot of these media sites, like big media sites.
Pull over so I can get out, so I can speak directly in person to figure out what's going on. I pull my squad over.
Yep, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I pulled my squad over. I exited my driver's side of the vehicle, came around to the front of my vehicle with a short black female who was wearing what appeared to be a blue coat. Walked in the front of my patrol vehicle. There were some two other subjects that were with her, and they started to indicate that she had been assaulted by a boyfriend of some type. I started to talk to the female who had the blue coat on, and I said, okay, well, what happened? Who is this person? And she tried to downplay what happened. She didn't want to be cooperative. She made comments to the effect of nothing happened. It was just a verbal argument. I'm fine. I just want to leave.
Did you see any injury on her?
So at that time, I did. The two subjects that were with her,
The ex-girlfriend was on the stand earlier.
they said, no, Erica, you need to tell him what happened. And one of the subjects looked at me and said, officer, you need to look at her face, because she was blading a little bit 45 degrees away from me. So I kind of stepped and looked a little bit to the side.
Yo, the thing I don't like about this, you know, these are poor people, bro. Like, his girl was in the shelter. You know what I mean? So if his girl was in the shelter, he couldn't have been doing too much better.
You said they referred to this person by the name of Erica, is that right?
Yes.
Did you eventually ask this person for her name?
I did eventually ask for her name, yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me that her full name was Erica Patterson, and that her date of birth was 10/7 of 1990.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
she young.
were you going to investigate her complaints further?
I was attempting to investigate the complaint further, yes.
And then what happened?
So as I was speaking to this woman who identified herself as Erica, along with the two other people that were with her who I did not identify, the calls on the radio at that point were 1078 after 1078 after 1078.
Okay, what does that mean?
So 1078 in law enforcement jargon is officer needs immediate assistance right now, all available units.
Oh, dang.
As that was being called multiple times, other people were coming on the radio and stating there were subjects down in the street, that it was 10 people down, that it was 15, that it was 30 or 40. And I had to make a decision at that point, speaking with the subjects, particularly the one who appeared to be involved and the most injured, who was not being cooperative with me, that the greater danger and the clear and present threat that was happening downtown had to draw my attention. I had to.
All right. The events that you've described for us so far, are those all captured on your squad video, sir?
Yes.
And at that time, in
The video
November
what?
2021, were you wearing a body camera?
I was not wearing a body camera at that time.
So you had a video recording device in your squad car, correct?
Yeah, this shit wild, bro.
When you exit your squad, it's no longer recording your activities unless you can be seen on the camera in front of the squad, correct?
I have an audio recording device on my person that is synced and connected to my squad exterior windshield camera.
Okay.
Where's
And
that?
camera in your squad is stationary, is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Eventually then, do you leave the area where you're speaking with Erica and the other two individuals and go to Main Street?
I leave the area. tell her I'm sorry that I had to go. I went down White Rock, navigated flow traffic, went down East Main Street in a westbound direction, and eventually came to East Main Street at Barstow Street, where I exited my patrol vehicle.
Okay, I'm gonna, ask. Oh, yes. Before I move away from exhibit 1, could we please get a screenshot, Madam Clerk, of drawings by Officer Phillips, and then I'm gonna ask to switch to exhibit 6.
It's like she miserable. She probably ain't got no man in the house.
We agree with that? Officer, you see, we've now put exhibit 6 on your monitor. It's not yet displayed for the courtroom. Do you see exhibit 6 on your monitor?
Yes.
Do you recognize this, or do you want us to play it for a few seconds?
I recognize what I'm looking at.
Okay. Do you believe this to be a truthful and accurate recording from your squad video that afternoon, sir?
I haven't listened to it at this point, but I would believe if it's from what I'm looking at, it would be accurate to my squad video, yes.
Okay. And you ultimately saved your squad video and submitted it.
He gonna eat the box.
Evidence. Is this correct, sir?
Yes, I did.
All right. And this is a clip from that squad video?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. Move to admit and permission to publish exhibit 6.
Yeah, that's what I said with the video at.
Your objection is noted. It is overruled. Exhibit 6 is received permission to publish as printed.
She overruling all his objections,
All
man.
right. So for the record, this clip is about 6 minutes long. It exactly ends at the 5:59 mark. But we're going to play it through Officer Phillips, and I may ask Ms. Gussie to pause at times so you can kind of describe what's going on in the video. But if you could just
I'm glad he
us
calmed down,
what we're
though.
looking at right now before we start playing.
So this is an orientation. This would be White Rock Avenue, facing a southwestern direction that will go directly to the street. This right here is Baxter Street. And then what you're looking at on the right-hand corner is White Rock Avenue.
What about way down in the distance? It looks perhaps like it's a church steeple.
You can see what looks like the church steeple down. That's going to be Main Street down there. And particularly of note, you can see what looks to be a
I don't know what y'all was thinking. Why would you do some shit like that, yo?
That is Sergeant Waters' unmarked SUV patrol vehicle.
Okay, now I'd like to make a record when he was pointing and saying this. At least
Initially, he was using his right hand.
Yeah, for real,
pointing
it
to
is.
The roadway that's depicted in the still of this video image. He also said over here, or this is Baxter. You can see about midway in the frame a street sign, and there's a street that intersects. That's where he was pointing to, that particular street. Again, I believe that was Baxter. And I believe the rest of his comments comport with the record and don't need further explanation or at least verification by the court. So go ahead.
All right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start to play. We're at the 0 mark right now. Where are you going now? 9 seconds. We're pausing. Go ahead, officer.
So what you're looking at here is Baxter Street. And right off to your right-hand side, I get that you pointing at my hand. But the building over here is the Sheets building. Where those squad lights are there is the parking lot of the Sheets building. There's at least one officer already on foot.
So he got the fresh cut. No, he just got that cut yesterday. Got the little crew joint. Looking real real clean. Like he believable.
Correct.
Whose squad is that?
I know one of them is Officer Dick Hendrickson.
Okay. And is that the officer that you were referring to earlier when you said another officer was also trying to help you find the subjects involved in the fight?
Yes, that's
left, it looks like there's a bunch of cars parked there. Is that general parking available to the public?
General public parking for the street building.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play again.
Take it till you make it.
Are you driving on Baxter now?
Look, it look like they're in the hood.
Pause it, please. Whose voice was that, if you know?
I'm not gonna say I know 100% sure.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Play.
They definitely in the hood. It's like 5 degrees outside. It's cold as hell in Minnesota. I mean Milwaukee.
A little hard to see, but on the right-hand side, did you see the individuals walking down the street there?
I did. My squad just passed.
Sorry, sidewalk, yeah.
About 2 seconds prior, there were 3 individuals who were walking down the sidewalk. These are the 3 individuals that laid me down as the passersby.
Go ahead.
Well, it must have already happened by then. They blocking streets off. I think it already happened. He got there late. He talking about when he left the girlfriend house and got the call that it was an accident. So that's what we're looking at now. Now he almost said like toward the same. Yeah, see, he's talking. Oh no. Yeah. He talking to witnesses. It's a lot of screaming on the mic. Must be letting the ambulance through. No ambulance off. Damn, yo. Straight up. He messed that money up, man. Yeah, for real. All them people, they ain't never gonna forget that. Especially if they never been through nothing. Oh my God. They probably had nightmares about that day.
It was a little bit difficult to hear when you asked Erica Patterson who assaulted her. Did she tell you a name? She did not provide you with any names. Okay. You had her name and her date of birth, and that was it at that point.
That's all I could.
Yeah. Because it looked like to me,
Now,
he had this the story he trying to paint. That he was beefing with his girl, he was upset, and he just reacted out of rage and did that. But he can't get crime of passion because he had time to think. Because he was fighting with his girl first.
At that point, I was just trying to assist any officer, EMS, civilian individual that was around, and it was just mass chaos, carnage everywhere.
did you attempt to render aid to some injured individuals?
There was approximately 2 to 3 individuals I can remember talking to directly. They were all members of the band. I don't know which band it was. It was one of the high school bands. They were in the vicinity just west of Barstow.
Then we talking about kids, man.
A number of them laying in the street.
Yep, that's what happened, y'all. That's what they're trying to say.
Contact with a few of them laying on the ground. There were parents screaming at me to help their kids. I did what basic measures that I could take as far as emergency life-saving goes. I checked pulses. I asked them to squeeze my finger, asked them what hurt, what they could move. The 2 or 3 I talked to could still move. They could still talk. They could tell me what hurt. There were multiple people standing around them, also providing aid. At that point, some of the radio traffic that I was picking up on, I was gathering that.
Yo, how he had so many people though, yo? Like he must have just kept going, like bowling pins, just knocking them down.
Patrol vehicle and trying to get them to a hospital. However, my vehicle just simply isn't equipped to have that kind of space or room to do that. So, given the fact that I didn't want to try to move anybody unnecessarily that would cause further damage to them, especially if somebody's involved in blunt force trauma such as a car crash, I said, hey, you're doing fine right now. Somebody will be by shortly. We'll get you an ambulance. Just hang tight where you are. And that's basically what I had to ensure at least the 2 or 3 people that I came across. The third person I came across was also a band member. She was a female. Her leg was obviously injured. She was being held upright by a couple of adults. And I asked her what was wrong, what was hurting, if there's anything more serious with her as she was being held up. And she said, officer, I saw what happened. I saw who did this. And I said, what can you tell me? And she said, a red SUV sped through the parade and did this. She didn't say anything more than that. I said, okay. I was like, stay with your family, stay with your parents. Somebody will be by with an ambulance to get you shortly.
Injured individuals you spoke to, would you describe them all as being about teenage years?
Overruled, he may answer. Overruled, he may answer.
Answer to the question to
Yes.
the prosecution table or to the jury, I'm not sure. looking at them answering the questions, but they're not answering the questions. Asking the questions.
You may answer the question, sir.
The three individuals that I met with initially had band uniforms on, and it was my understanding that the band from that vicinity right then and there was a high school band, so I would place them all at teenage age range.
Were you aware that at some point person was taken into custody in the 500 block of Elizabeth Street that was related to this incident, sir?
I was made aware a little while after my involvement directly in the downtown area, yes.
Did you learn the name of the person who had been taken into custody?
Yes.
What was that name?
I knew from radio traffic at the time that it was a Darrell Brooks. I didn't know the date of birth or middle name or anything at that point.
His name Darrell.
At some point later, after the chaos had somewhat settled, did you have an opportunity to go back and try and investigate the initial complaint you had taken from Erica Patterson?
Yes, I did.
Did you attempt to identify Ms. Patterson fully through police records?
I did identify Ms. Patterson fully by positive ID, yes.
And
Yeah, I don't think he know what's going on for real.
Complaints that have been filed by Ms. Patterson in the past?
Yo, but if you talk to I seen an interview with his mother, yo, and he told his mother, like, you know what I mean? I'm fighting for my life.
Answer the question.
So he got some idea.
I did conduct some more investigation after my involvement in the entire mass casualty incident.
And he had a paid attorney, yo. Like, why would you fire your paid attorney to represent yourself?
Erica Patterson had been involved in other police cases outside of Waukesha.
Like, I could see if he had a public defender. Should I probably represent myself before I let them do it?
Hearsay.
Overruled.
I did find information through our reporting system and other law enforcement sources to directly link Erica Patterson to Darrell Brooks, yes.
And did that information also directly link Darrell Brooks to a vehicle described as a red SUV?
Yes, it did.
Yo, but I told you, yo, I seen a lot of cases where people who did stuff just like him and don't get no time. I'm talking about months, probation. Go back and watch that video I did on Nicole Litton when I broke that shit down. Same type situation. Some of them even worse.
Witness at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
5 people killed, 6 people killed.
Cross-examination.
Probation, 6 years, 5 years.
I noticed, Officer Phillips, you are in uniform this afternoon. Were you scheduled to work today?
Straight up.
So it would be fair to say that you would be on duty as of now if you weren't giving testimony in this matter.
I would be on duty right now, yes.
So it will also be fair to ask
Mm-hmm.
if it would be fair to say that you giving testimony right now, you're still getting paid for it.
I'm currently employed by the City of Waukesha Police Department.
Hey, that was a good question.
Working patrol shift on a normal shift for myself, yes.
That was a good question.
So with that, would it be fair to say that you are getting paid right now as we speak?
Yes, I'm getting paid right now.
By whom?
State of Milwaukee.
Sustained. Next question.
Were you subpoenaed by the plaintiff in this matter?
Rephrase the question.
Were you subpoenaed to testify here today by the plaintiff?
Can you explain it another way?
That was pretty clear. Were you subpoenaed to testify by the plaintiff in this matter?
I was subpoenaed by the
State.
Waukesha County Prosecution's Office to testify in this matter.
And can you say that again, just for the record?
I was subpoenaed by the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office in this matter.
Is the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant. Sustained.
Do you know of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant. Sustained.
Have you ever seen the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Have you ever talked to
Sustained.
the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant. Sustained.
Why are you continuing to look at parties that are not asking the question?
Objection, argumentative. Sustained.
He ain't stupid.
So,
Ask him, was you a witness to this matter?
Kind of hard to hear everything that was said when you pulled over and interviewed the three individuals. Can you give a little more commentary on what was actually said?
Can you clarify exactly?
Come on, y'all. Now he trying to be arrogant.
What exactly were you told by the three individuals that you pulled over to interview?
I don't remember or recall exactly what all three individuals said to me as 1078 and screams for help by other officials over the radio were directing my attention to figure out what was also going on downtown. What I recall hearing from these individuals is that one of them indicated, one of the individuals that was not Erica indicated that their friend had been in a fight or an altercation.
Yeah, you're right.
Decided to pull over
And that's what he was trying to get to. He basically was saying you was sent to court by the same city that paid you,
that she wanted nothing to happen and she just wanted to
or the same government that paid you. You feel me? So he got some type of biasness. That's what he was trying to get to, but the state wasn't allowing him to get it out, and the judge, kept blocking it too.
Trying to get her name as these calls over the radio were coming for whatever was happening downtown that was unbeknownst to me at the time.
Yeah, that was a good move. They let it go.
So would it be fair to say that you do recall the commentary of the interview?
I'm sorry. Now I will object as argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
I would ask him, was he a witness?
The word commentary mischaracterizes the evidence. It's argumentative.
So it would be fair to say that you do recall what was said after already saying you don't recall.
I object. It's argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Nah, I don't know. That shit ain't gonna work. Ain't really no other way. I'm trying to think of a way he
Fair
could
to
keep.
say that you responded to a fight at Frame Park, possibly involving a knife. That'd be fair to say.
That is what the initial dispatch was, yes.
Was any knife recovered from that scene, or
I did not recover a knife. No.
did you see anybody with a knife?
I did not see any individual with a knife.
Did you learn who reported that it was a knife involved?
I do not know the subject's names that actually reported the incident.
I don't know shit, bro. Fuck you understand for? I would ask him, was he a witness? Because he wasn't. So if you wasn't a witness to the crime, what you doing on the bench?
From your recollection, sorry.
Basically, his information is hearsay. Because he wasn't there on the scene. He got called there afterwards.
From your recollection, was Erica Patterson being cooperative with the information that she gave you?
Erica Patterson was not being cooperative with the information she was giving me. No.
Could it be possible she was lying? Oh yeah, they got the video though. Can't use that. Throw that out the motherfucking building. Did he got a time limit on the questions?
Do you recall if the male individual reported any information to you?
I believe I heard a male's voice during the time that I was flagged down. I don't recall what information he told me directly.
But there was 3 individuals
Yeah, he done, man.
you interviewed at that time. Would that be fair to say?
There were 3 individuals
He
present.
ain't gonna get
at
no
the time I
rhythm.
was flagged down. Yes.
One of them was a male. Would that be fair to say?
Correct. Yes.
But you don't recall him relaying any type of information to you at that time?
I remember hearing a male's voice. I don't remember what information that specific person told me at that time.
Not supposed to be. Supposed to be blind.
Just so we're clear on the record. About how long did you conduct that interview? Would you say was it a couple of minutes?
I'd have to look directly at the squad video for an exact timestamp. I would say it was in the vicinity.
Right now, y'all, he questioning one of the officers that got to the scene late. The same officer that responded to the call, the domestic violence call between Darrell Brooks and his girlfriend.
After you interviewed those 3 individuals, did you later gain any more information of the incident that you were investigating at that time?
I did not gain any further information regarding the specific fight that I was initially dispatched to. No.
You know, the only time you really fight a case is if you don't got a chance. Just so you can get back on the appeal. That's what this whole thing is for. This whole trial he got going on is basically for the appeal process.
Just so we're clear for the record, you did not talk to the plaintiff about testifying.
She said vague. How was that vague?
Were you contacted in any way by the plaintiff to testify here today?
Objection irrelevant. Sustained.
Oh man, come on, man. They stacking the deck, man.
Do you know if there's even a plaintiff in this matter?
It's a good question. She can't say nothing. she can't say nothing.
Shaw County District Attorney's Office to testify in this case.
Do you know if that's the plaintiff in this matter?
Generally, in a criminal case, the plaintiff would be the state of Wisconsin. That is my assumption in this case, that the plaintiff is the state of Wisconsin.
So the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff in this matter, to your knowledge.
That would be correct, yes.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Do you have any redirect?
Just very briefly, one question. You have been asked by Mr. Brooks if you did anything to further investigate the initial fights that you were dispatched to. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
Did you in fact relay?
Gotta ask him something about his
detectives who
attitude.
were working on this.
Like you seem a bit
great
fidgety
incident,
today, like something like you're aggravated.
You had found out about the link between
That's what I
Jackson
did.
and Darrell Brooks.
Yes.
To your knowledge, the detective
Like I
then
noticed-
follow up.
To
I
my
noticed a
knowledge,
change in your
detectives
demeanor
have followed
from when
up
the states questioned you to when I
further
questioned you.
investigation regarding the fight itself.
Thank you. Nothing else.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
Look at him.
Go
Goofy
ahead, Darrell.
motherfucker.
Your next witness.
Yes, I'd also like to move Exhibit 1C into the record, please.
Exhibit 1C is received.
Can't raise your hand, though, but
Your objection is noted.
Can I state the grounds, if I may?
You may.
There's a point in the video that was shown, like during the interview part between the officer and the three individuals where,
That's not the exhibit we're talking about.
well,
We're talking about 1C, which is the annotations to the map that were made that are captured by the annotation system at the state.
yo, he messed up, yo, by getting on the bad side of the judge, man, from the beginning of the trial.
I didn't understand what was
If-
being referred to.
If he was speaking like this the whole time,
Sir, let's take it up outside the presence of the jury later on. You'll have to remind me later. I've already received the video, which is exhibit number 6.
That video has some language in it that you made an order on. So I just want to put that on the record. Something that you ruled on.
Sir, we'll take it up outside the presence of the jury. All right, I need to keep going on. Next witness, please.
Say we'll call Kyle Edwards. Hi, Mr. Edwards.
Please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right.
remember Darrell Brooks ain't even want no witnesses there.
When you get to the
Darrell
witness
Brooks, I
stand,
keep
please
calling him
remain
Darrell by
standing,
mistake.
Raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa will swear you in.
He wanted to go through the trial without the witnesses.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Now, what is he doing with all them papers? Ain't no way.
EDWARDS.
He went through all them papers.
Thank you.
Go ahead, your witness. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you. for
Take a
being
table
here.
of people to read their papers, man.
What city or town do you live in, sir?
At the time.
I gotta find me something to eat. I'm hungry as hell. Hold on.
Okay. So, back in November of 2021, you lived here in Waukesha, is that correct? Okay. And I just want to ask you very briefly, do you have any medical training, sir?
I've been in the service for 17 years, so limited combat lifesaver, just based on where tasks that for the past stuff.
Okay. And on November 21 of 2021, did you make plans to attend the Waukesha Christmas parade?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you attending that parade with any family members?
Yeah, my wife and 2 kids.
Okay. Did you travel to the area where the parade was being held by car?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember what road you may have taken to approach the parade area?
Yeah, we lived just east of Frank Park, so we crossed the river and then came up into the downtown area using North Street, East North Street.
Okay. And was there a time when you came to the intersection of North Street and Barstow?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like at the corner of East North Street and Barstow, there was a stoplight there. So.
Okay. I'm going to put up a document that's been labeled as Exhibit
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize what's shown in exhibit number 7?
I do, ma'am.
What do you see there, sir?
So that's the intersection we had stopped at. We were coming southwest on North Street, which at the time was a one-way, and stopped at the intersection of East North Street and Barstow with a gas station on our left.
Okay. Does the photograph in exhibit number 7 accurately represent that intersection to the best of your knowledge, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. To admit and permission to publish number 7, please. On that, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, object. Irrelevant.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 7 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Wait for it to come up on for everybody to see. Okay. So the roadway is clearly marked as North Street, and the other roadway is clearly marked as Northwest Barstow Street. See that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the big square kind of on the middle right-hand side of the exhibit is the
We're
gas
bad, y'all.
station, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Fucking hungry as hell.
There's actually a touch screen in front of you, so I'm going to ask you to please mark with an X where you were positioned on North Street. And North Street is a one-way street, is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the direction of travel? If you could mark it in a spot not near where we're gonna need to point out other
Yeah.
things.
Yes. This is one way.
Okay, perfect. And what about Barstow Street? Is that one-way or two-way, if you know?
I believe it's a two-way.
Okay. Did you stop at that intersection, sir? That's a controlled intersection?
Yes, we were stopped at the red light.
Okay. And you were in that left-hand lane. It's a two-lane street there? 3 lanes? maybe?
2 or 3. There might be. It looks like there's a turn lane there.
Okay. And so you're stopped at the lane closest to the gas station?
That's correct.
And what happened as you're sitting there, sir?
So about the same time as we were coming up to stop at the stoplight, there was a vehicle that made a left from Barstow onto the wrong way, to go the wrong way on North Street, and stopped right up against our vehicle. So,
Okay, could you just draw the travel, the path of travel that?
They definitely fighting.
What kind of vehicle was this, sir?
it was a red SUV, kind of an older model.
Do you know maker model specifically or not really?
At the time, no, I wouldn't be able to say. Just a red SUV. So.
Is he a witness or a police officer? Who he is?
Already indicated that's the wrong way going on North Street.
Correct.
What did you do when you saw this red SUV turning the wrong way into your path of travel?
We kind of approached that stop line at the same time. So we were really with the other vehicle hood to hood. Again, my wife and 2 kids were in the car, and the driver of the other vehicle kind of put up their hands. I could see through the 2 windshields that the other driver put up their hands and was kind of gesturing wildly, like again, I don't know if mouthing is the right word, but kind of frantically. It seemed upset at us that we were, either going the wrong way or. So I kind of did the same thing, just put my hands up and just kind of was confused because we were coming up to a stoplight and a car had approached us was hood to hood.
Okay. Did you stay parked hood to hood or what happened?
So the person in the other vehicle kind of made mention with like a knife hand to his right, my left, to go in maybe towards the gas station. But he was kind of pointing to go into the driveway of the gas station. So I looked in my rearview mirror. There was no one parked behind me at the time, and other than that vehicle having to maybe back up into the intersection, I could see that they were motioning to go into the driveway of the gas station.
Okay. Can you point out the driveway, please, Jerry?
Yeah, it's just an open driveway here.
Okay.
So I put the car in reverse, backed up maybe 5 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and then the vehicle drove into the gas station parking lot.
Do you know who was driving that car?
again,
Yeah, you're
windshield,
right.
windshield, we were.
Fearful. I mean, emotions. He
identify,
wouldn't be in this situation.
Features. But when the car drove into the parking lot.
But you know, y'all talk about that all the time, yo. In a lot of my videos.
Okay,
Emotions, yo.
sure,
Emotions will put you in some tight spots, bro.
all right, and you're still stopped at the stoplight?
Correct. Still stopped at the stoplight.
Okay,
And pride.
The other driver rolled down.
Enough. That's another one.
Of their vehicle. I just, as a reaction, also rolled down the window of my. I don't know why. It's just a reaction of. So the other driver rolled down their window, maybe halfway, and stuck his head out and kind of looked back. And he said, "You know, why didn't you get out of the way?" And I'm trying to get gas. And they said, "Well, it's a one-way.
okay,
Going the wrong way down the runway." "Well, I'm telling you, you need to get gas." And I go, "Oh, okay, man." And then it was a green light, and then we proceeded. So.
okay. Do you think you can identify the driver of that red SUV?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, you see that person present in this courtroom here?
I do, yeah.
Your Honor, I'm gonna ask that Mr. Brooks be instructed to.
Man, he don't even look the same.
Temporarily.
That man had long locks.
You're instructed to take off your mask temporarily and look up, please. Thank you.
So at the time, it was a lot more dark facial hair features and longer hair as well. So again, I would have saw.
And you still knows who he was, yo.
Once, but then also with the
Those lines.
kind of looking back, so maybe just like the forehead and then the long, massive hair.
Sure. So different than he looks today with kind of a clean shaven or very short hairstyle
Yes,
and
ma'am.
scruff or stubble on his chin?
Yes,
Okay, but you do think it was Darrell Brooks that was driving that car based on seeing him in court here today?
I do. Ma'am.
Did you continue on to the parade, sir?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And where did you and your family watch the parade?
We were literally on Broadway Street. So that was one of the streets that intersects at the 5 points, intersects Main Street. And so it was really windy, so we wanted to kind of face away from the wind, so we were sitting on Broadway.
I'm sorry, I want to back up one step before I leave the gas station. Did it appear to you as though Mr. Brooks was alone in the car?
Yes, it did.
You only saw one person in that car?
That's correct.
At that.
The objection is overruled. His answer may stand.
Did you see any black female subjects walking in the area during?
Why wasn't that
Okay, now let's go back to the parade. You said you were near the 5
dang, what
points.
the fuck?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were kind of positioned.
Can't think of the word she
in
used.
area trying to get out of the wind, right?
Not out of the wind, but with our backs to the wind. Yes.
Okay. It was very windy that night, right?
Yes.
Overruled.
Did you see a red SUV go through the parade as you were watching it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you remember seeing, sir?
It was from our left. It approached to right. The direct view in front of us, there were no floats or parade participants. It was kind of a gap in the parade entries.
Okay.
And so the vehicle approached from our left. There was somebody that flew through the air, and then it exited to the right of our perspective. That's all we saw. So because we were a little bit, maybe a row or two back from the front of the parade, we didn't have a long view of it coming and then leaving. It was kind of enter the frame of reference and then exit pretty quickly.
Okay. You did unfortunately see a person flying through the air?
Yes, ma'am.
Damn.
Tell anything about the person as far as what group or unit they were with?
Wow, yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, it's
Shit.
dark blue.
I bet y'all fucking trip.
The objection is overruled. His answer may stand.
At that point, sir, near that 5 points intersection, did you hear the horn of the SUV honking as it came through that intersection? What did you do next?
We folded up our two kids in the chair, in the folding parade, lawn chair, and then got them back to the vehicle pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then my wife went to drive the kids home, and then I went back to help out with the craziness.
Okay. Why'd you go back to help?
It was just a reaction. interaction. I think I'll give credit to my wife. She handed me a couple diapers and a bottle of water and said, you know, you gotta go back. So we were right there.
Okay.
So we went back.
And again, you have some limited first aid training, or perhaps more than basic training. You're have some good knowledge from your service in the armed forces, correct?
Basic Army wear tasks include medical training, so yes.
Were you able to render aid to any individuals on Main Street?
There were 2, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions for you. Mr. Brooks may have some questions.
I'd be like, how you know?
Thank you, Stacy. Could I please ask the clerk to make a screenshot and mark it as 1D, and then I would move to admit 7A. Should be right? Yep.
Actually, it will be 7A.
Thank you.
So that will be marked as 7A. Mr. Brooks, any position on that?
Yeah, I object to the relevancy of this what's on the screen right now. Talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see the relevance for this.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. The court receives Exhibit 7A.
But you gotta give reason why you keep overruling all of it. What you mean? Explain yourself. What makes it relevant?
A written statement and the statement that you gave to Officer Barrett. Would that be fair to say?
I don't remember the name of the officer that's in my statement.
Would it be fair to say that you were interviewed by an officer, a female officer?
Yes.
And would it also be fair that you gave a written statement to that same officer?
I think I signed the statement that she wrote.
So it'd be fair to say that the officer wrote down what you told her?
Yes.
Nah, that's not what he just said.
Do you remember the date that interview took place?
A couple days after the parade incident.
Any reason why it wouldn't have been the same day as the parade?
I would assume that they were rendering aid to the victims of the incident. It took a while to get back to anybody that had called in with any altercations, or not altercations, but interactions.
Information.
Do you recall stating in this interview that you saw the news and a picture of the male driving the said SUV?
I believe in the statement I said that I wanted to provide a description of who I had the interaction with before I saw any picture of anybody.
Oh man, you're terrible. You want to be a part of something. Yeah, he wasn't even part of the case. I eat him up on a witness stand.
So you never stated that since the incident and before the statement that you saw the news and the picture of the male?
I guess I don't understand the question.
Come on now.
In your statement that the officer wrote down. Well, let me back up. Did you see a picture of the alleged defendant on the news?
Yes, but not before I provided the description to the officer.
So the description that you gave, would that be the same officer that did the interview?
I called the evening of the incident. I called the non-emergency line and provided the description at maybe 10:30 that evening of the event, and then provided the same description to the officer, a few days later.
Do you recall why you called the non-emergency line for something that would have been so big that it should have been an emergency call?
Objection, argumentative, sustained. Please rephrase the question, Mr.
That's the
Brooks.
real argumentative.
The reason why you would call the non-emergency line?
Someone going down a wrong way on a one-way street a few minutes before the parade
Didn't seem like an emergency compared to what had happened at the parade.
So,
Good answer.
would it be fair to say that you were then reporting someone going down the wrong way, trying to get into the gas station at that time?
At what time?
At the time that you called the non-emergency number?
I wanted to report that I had seen someone in a red SUV going the wrong way down one way before the parade, and the possibility that it was connected to the red SUV that I had seen drive through the parade.
How you see all that? Pretty nine. We do 2 plays at once.
So, that non-emergency report, as you say, would have been to make a possible connection between the two incidents.
I was just reporting what I had seen.
So at that time, would it be fair to say you weren't sure if there was a connection?
I would say that I had a red SUV 5 feet from my hood, and then I saw a red SUV drive through the parade, and wanted to, notify the police that I had seen that.
So at the time, were you sure that there was a connection?
Pretty sure, yes.
And what would have made you pretty sure?
The color of the SUV, the approximate age of the SUV, the timing between the 20 minutes of where I was in Waukesha to the 25 minutes later that I had seen the red SUV go through the parade.
That's a long time later, man. 25 minutes? You can get across half the town with 25 minutes.
Would it be fair to say that you just described the SUV that made the wrong turn going into the gas station as an older model? I think that was your correct words. Is that fair?
Yes.
Is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to make the connection between the older model SUV that you saw going into the gas station and the one that you saw in the parade?
No, they were similar age. I guess older subjective. I mean, it was a similar age, the one I saw before the parade and the one I saw during the parade.
So it'd be fair to say that you weren't exactly sure.
I'm pretty sure they were the same vehicle.
Do you recall in your statement saying that you were 95% sure?
That sounds right, yes. 95%. I give that same percentage, yes.
Why would you not be 100% sure if you say that you believe that they were the same vehicle?
Objection, argumentative, sustained. Please rephrase the question, Mr. Brooks.
I guess I'll say like what put any doubt in your head that they weren't the same vehicle?
I wasn't able to see the driver of the person going through the parade because it was moving so fast. So I guess there's a very, very small chance that the red SUV I saw beforehand happened to be a similar year, make, and model and color of the SUV that I saw go through the parade.
So you weren't exactly sure who was driving the SUV in the parade.
Correct.
Do you recall in the statement that the officer wrote down? Do you recall telling the officer that was writing the report that you're 95% sure the male you saw prior to the parade at the gas station was the one driving through the parade route?
As far as I would not be able to identify who was driving through the parade route because the vehicle was moving too fast.
Do you recall saying that his voice was the same?
Yes. So when the second interview had taken place, again, I wanted to provide the description to the officer, the visual description the night of. But just as I did now, I'm 95% sure that the interaction that I had prior to the parade was with you.
Who do you refer to when you say you?
Whatever your name is.
What? Come on, man.
So you don't know the alleged defendant's name.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Highlight that. Better highlight that. Do you have something against the alleged defendant? Get that on record, even if they strike that shit down.
Would it be safe to assume that if you could see who was driving,
I'd have highlighted the shit out of that, bro.
that you also couldn't identify if it was the same voice?
The voice has nothing to do with the driver of the vehicle driving the parade. And it was moving too quickly. I wasn't able to identify the driver when I saw the vehicle going through the parade.
So would it be safe to assume that you got the description from the news and picture of the person that you seen on the news?
That you say you seen.
The person and the voice that I saw in the news matched who I interacted with prior to the parade.
But just so we're clear for the record, there was no way you saw who was driving the vehicle in the parade route.
Correct.
What's up, Nasir? Nothing?
Going back to the interaction at the gas station.
Yeah.
Do you recall telling the interviewing officer that the driver of that vehicle rolled down the window to say, "I'm almost out of gas"?
How are you?
Yes.
Do you recall backing your vehicle up to let the driver of that car into the gas station?
Yes.
Hey, why you asking me that? What's this, man? You gotta get that.
What?
Yeah, she's still here.
Do you remember how far you backed up?
Yeah, she's still here.
5 feet.
Do you remember telling the reporting officer who was writing down your statement that it was 10 feet?
5 to 10 feet.
You know my PJ
Was it
Masks?
5 feet or 10 feet?
It was enough to lift the vehicle into the gas station.
So would it be safe to say that you don't recall?
No.
It would be safe to say it's between 5 and 10.
What you wanna watch? What you wanna watch? Give my mom back her phone, man. Give my mom her phone.
After your initial non-emergency call, it was the night of the parade that you made the non-emergency call, correct?
Oh, yeah. It's sick.
Do you recall how long after that you were being interviewed by law enforcement?
A few days.
Did you try to attempt to call and report again?
Yes.
Don't drop the phone.
I think I called again maybe a day or two later, just because again it was when I first called the night of.
Cold down here.
Pretty busy, so I called a day or two later, just to make sure that anybody had taken down the statement that I had made the night of.
Take it out. It's my phone. Give it to her.
Would it be fair to state that
If you don't
at
mind,
that
give it to
time
her. It's not
you
mine.
were still seeking to
Give it to
report
my
what
mom.
had happened at the gas station?
Yes.
That's correct.
So you weren't seeking to report the connection between the gas station incident and what you saw in the parade route.
You can answer.
Overruled, you may answer.
I was calling to report what I had seen before the parade.
And the second reporting was before you actually were interviewed, correct? Just so we're clear for the record.
What do you mean by the second reporting?
The second time that you called to make a report about the gas station incident, that was before you ultimately were interviewed by law enforcement.
That's correct. The second call was just to make sure that they still had my name, and I didn't really file a formal report that second time. It was just a call to see that they still had my name and contact info. And they had said that an officer would be out eventually to interview.
At that time,
You ready to get the boys?
called to make sure that they still had the name on file.
You want me to get my mother?
Report about the gas station incident. At that time, had you made
It's like an hour away.
connection to that incident and what you saw at the
Sustained, it's been asked and answered. Brooke, to draw your attention once again to the 611. Next topic, please.
noted.
Nigga doing a decent job, man. Doing a decent job representing the South, man.
Were you subpoenaed by the state of Wisconsin to testify here today?
I was in the state of the county and received a letter from the county.
I said he ain't want the phone no more. He tried to give it to me. I said, take it up there to you. It's your phone. He
Sustained.
cool attitude. Start crying.
Did you see the state of Wisconsin in the courtroom today?
Objection, Your Honor. They,
Sustained.
Man, they sustain it all. Everything they objecting when it come down here.
To the best of your knowledge, do you know if the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff in this matter?
objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Have you ever had any interaction with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection, irrelevant.
Ever had a phone conversation with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Even though the state of Wisconsin.
Like crazy,
Same
bro.
objection.
He basically trying to say the state can't be a plaintiff in the case. I see where he going at with it.
New topic, or I'll stop the cross-examination under 90611.
That's why he doing that. He's saying the state can't be a plaintiff. Hold on.
Do you recall how long approximately you were stopped at the red light during the gas station?
A minute or two.
Did you ever see the vehicle that went into the gas station actually get gas?
When we turned left onto Barstow, I noticed that the vehicle didn't stop for gas. It was gonna either exit to go back or north, but it didn't stop at a gas pump.
Did you see the vehicle
It's
pull
chilly
off
down
from the
here, man.
gas station, or was it just kind of
Just in this one.
stationary parked?
I can't say what the vehicle did because I was already at that point out of view. I just know that it had not gone to one of the gas pumps.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
He could agree with him better than this.
No, Your Honor. I thank you, sir. You may sit down.
I would have highlighted the fact that he wasn't saying his name. I would have highlighted that to show like you obviously got something against me. So it might be biased in your testimony. It's day 5 of the trial, y'all. Actually, the second day of testimony. They started that yesterday. First day was they was getting the motions together. First, the second, the 2 days after that, they was doing jury selection. What's that? Yeah, you gotta see this
Good
guy,
afternoon.
man.
If you would please make your way to the witness stand.
He making some good points sometimes.
To my right, upper riser. When
He
you
got
get there,
no, he got 2
raise your
bins
right
of
hand.
folders.
You may
3 of them.
raise your right
3
hand.
big bins filled with folders.
And click on an errand
And he
file.
going through all that information by
You
himself.
solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help
You know, I take a team of lawyers. This is just him.
When you are seated, the first thing I will have you do is to state your first and last name for the record.
Cold.
Holly Berg, Holly
Freezing cold.
Berg. Go ahead.
He look nervous.
This afternoon, I'd like to ask you about the events of November 21, 2021, okay? Do you remember that afternoon?
Yeah, that was last year.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
They got him in court. They got him in court in less than a year.
I was dropping my boyfriend's daughter, who was
They don't normally do that.
with her dance company on White Rock Avenue at their stage area,
Okay,
to get ready for the parade.
so your boyfriend's daughter was gonna participate in the parade,
Yes.
okay? And you had to drop her off on White Rock? Okay.
Do that again. Yes.
And then,
Make sure the record is clear, so you nod your head or say, okay, I'll clarify, it's okay, people do it all the time.
and after you dropped her off, were you planning to attend the parade then?
Yes.
And where were you planning to watch the parade from?
Earlier that.
How you feel about that
morning,
last witness? He could have grilled him a little bit more.
Spot on Main and Maple right on the corner.
Okay. And do you know if you were on the north side of the street or the south side of the street?
South side.
South side of the street. Do you know any businesses that were nearby that you can remember?
Yeah, we were right across from Main Street Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Main Street.
Okay, Mainstream Bar and Grill?
Yes.
Yep, okay. And, as you were traveling, to the parade after dropping off your, boyfriend's daughter, did you travel along North Street? Okay. So the- ask, to display exhibit number 7, which has already been admitted, Your Honor.
Commission of Public Exhibit 7.
All right, so it's up on the big screen, it's also on the monitor in front of you. And that's actually a touch screen, so I will ask you to please, put an X in the area where you were as you approach the intersection of
That's
North
hey,
Street
no.
and Park
Hey,
Street.
why I said you got up? I said got up and tried to eat your ice cream.
I was right here.
You think you slick? You're a funny little dude, right?
Only.
I'm talking about as soon as you got up. As soon as you got up.
Yeah, it's not the,
I was right here in the.
Why you being sneaky?
in the center.
You
Yes.
was being sneaky.
Okay.
Go ahead, eat it.
Hold on, I wonder if it's the,
It's cold. Yeah, no.
the arrow, which is okay, there's multiple ways to pronounce it.
Better hurry up.
Try it again. See what comes up.
If she catch you, better hurry up. She coming.
There we go.
Hurry up.
And, as
Hurry up. Hurry up.
you approach that intersection, do you remember
Uh-oh.
you had stopped for
She
the
coming,
stoplight
hurry up.
there?
Yes, it had just turned red.
Okay. See any cars around you on
You
North
couldn't even
Street?
get that out of it. It was too hard. It was too
Silver.
it was too hard for her to break into it.
I think there was a car on my right.
Okay. And, the car on your left then would be in the lane closest to
Don't
you.
knock it down trying to get in there.
Correct, right at the corner.
Okay.
Said don't knock it down. She gonna be mad about that.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
What do you remember
Better
happening?
hurry up. She coming.
after the stoplight?
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped at the stoplight, and I
SUV come from down the hill on Barstow, and it turned into North Street to go into the gas station. However, it turned on a one-way street, and it was like head-to-head with the car next to me in the first lane. And so I was right next to the silver car.
Sure.
And
Could you draw that for us on the map?
Yeah.
The best you can, please.
so it came down here and into this first lane right here.
Okay. And that's where the silver car was parked.
Yeah.
Right now, they just trying to establish that
Driveway to the
that
gas
was him in that
station
car.
Right here.
Okay.
That's what these last 3 witnesses
The
did.
silver car was blocking that driveway because it's an exit, not an enter.
Okay. And so, you saw the SUV go kind of hood to hood or head to head, you said, with the silver car.
Yeah, and I was looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is coming onto trying to get onto our one-way street. And I saw a bunch of arm flailing
By
from,
who?
I think both vehicles, because presumably the red SUV is mad that the silver car is blocking to get into the gas station. The silver car is like, I'm not doing anything wrong. So they were both kind of upset. And then I noticed the silver car backed up to allow the red SUV to get into the gas station.
Okay. Could you see into
No,
the red
Mommy.
SUV and see the driver of that?
When I was,
Mama.
before it had entered the gas
Mama.
station, before silver car backed up and red SUV went into the driveway, I could just see outline. However, after the SUV pulled in, it stopped immediately as soon as it got into my driveway, and he's still doing this. Silver car.
He's the funny.
No, I know it.
Had your window up, okay. It appeared he was yelling.
Said you got up, you right over there.
Irritated.
Okay.
Yeah, he was digging at it
Could you tell how
with 2
many
hands,
were in the
trying
red
to break the
SUV
ice.
at that point? Or did you see anybody other than the driver?
I did not see anybody else.
It's too cold. We'll let it boil. It's cold.
You can identify
Make
the
your head
driver
hurt.
of that red SUV.
Yes.
Get your brain freeze.
All right, I'm gonna ask Mr. Brooks to remove his mask, Your Honor, for identification by this witness.
Mr. Brooks, thank you. Records reflected.
It's too cold.
Is that the driver of the red SUV you just described for us?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you, eventually go on to the
Come on,
parade?
Max.
Yes.
Sorry.
So right after, 5 seconds after the SUV got in, stuck his head out, and the light turned green, and I went and parked my car. And then
He is the
that was
funniest
the end.
baby.
Okay. And did you see a red SUV on the parade road?
Yes, about 30 minutes into getting there.
Okay. So I'm just gonna slow down here a little bit, okay? You're doing a great job, thank you. I just wanna ask you now.
I'm ready to go
standing
get the
there at
boys.
parade, What do you remember about the first time
Sit
you
the
saw that?
computer down in the basement.
So at first, so it was past us.
That's extremely loud.
And so I looked to see and saw a red SUV, which I was part of the parade, far right lane of Main Street, but it was going really fast. And I took
Had to
myself
relocate.
going fast. And then it clicked as soon as it switched over to the far left lane, and then into the group of people right in front of me.
That was the Catholic Community Group?
I do believe so.
You see the red SUV strike any people in the Catholic Community Group?
Several,
Can you estimate how many?
at least 15.
Okay. And did, I'm sorry to ask it this way, but did you see anybody like actually fly or roll or tumble?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap in from
You
my
look at the driver of the
from my
vehicle
phone.
as
I'm ready to
well.
go get my keys. But I'm rocking. We still rolling.
When I had just said it veered to the left and then struck the group of people, it was about probably 6 or 7 feet from where I was standing.
Okay.
And I saw directly through the driver's window.
What did you see?
I saw a man focused on the group ahead of him.
Is that Bill Brooks that you saw?
Yes. And as soon as that happened, about 10 seconds after, I froze and I said to my mom, who was with me, I just saw that guy at the gas station. And it clicked that it was the same person.
Remember exactly the same person. Okay. You described hearing some noises that you described as thuds. Is that right?
Yes.
What do you think that noise was?
Hitting a large group of people with the vehicle.
Okay. Did you hear the vehicle honking the horn of the vehicle at all? Driving maneuvers, we saw him going from side to side of the road. Is that correct?
Yeah, I saw it coming up Main Street in the far right lane, and I was in the far left, on the sidewalk of the far left, and it was then in the far left lane.
Okay. Were you able to estimate the speed of the vehicle at that time? Overruled. Would you be able to estimate the speed?
To the best of my knowledge, I would say 20 miles per hour.
Okay. Did you ever see the vehicle stop?
I think it had to at least very well slow down. It couldn't just continue on over as many miles as it did. I remember the brake lights, but then it continued.
Did you actually see the vehicle drive over people?
I saw it hit the group and people fly, and then there was just chaos in the street.
Okay. Had your boyfriend's daughter already gone through?
No, she had not.
Okay. So she was back waiting to join the parade, or
We didn't
know
know
where she was?
at the time, no. So as soon as it happened, my boyfriend leaped up to go help people, and I grabbed him. I said, "No, go find her." So then he took off and had to go find her down 5 blocks.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions for you.
Brooks, do you have any cross-exam for this witness?
I do. First of all, you have to stated that you saw brake lights. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say you would only see brake lights from a vehicle if it was attempting to stop?
Or slow.
So, just so I'm clear on that, you would see brake lights on a vehicle that is attempting to slow down or stop.
Sure.
And you stated that you can estimate the speed of the vehicle.
I estimated 20 miles per hour.
And would you characterize that as extremely fast?
Yes, for the parade, yes.
And how did you come to the conclusion of the speed?
with how quickly it went from point A to point B in my range of sight.
Going back to the gas station incident, you were, I guess I would need to see the map again.
You don't have that available? The map? We still have the map, the market is available, although it's clear.
I didn't clear it. Yeah, can you please say that it's 17, please, Your Honor?
It will be saved as 7E.
And admitted.
Any position on that, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, I don't see the relevancy of the
Yeah, I'm still rocking. I'm ready. I told him ready to go get the boys, my boys.
Testimony, sir, is relevant.
But I'm on YouTube with it. Yeah.
It's overruled. Exhibit 7B is received.
Where were you positioned again at the stoplight?
I was in the front row in the middle lane.
Do you remember if it was a car to your right?
I think there was a car to my right.
Do you recall if the vehicle you saw going into the gas station had any tinted windows?
I do not.
And you stated that you were pretty sure it was only one occupant of that vehicle.
Yes, that's all I could see.
Was all you can see, or are you sure that it was only one occupant?
I could see one person.
So it'd be fair to say you couldn't see any other seats in the vehicle.
I saw one person when it was head to head with the vehicle next to me, the one with the arms in the air, and then I saw one person as he stuck his head out the window once he pulled in.
Could you see the passenger seat?
I could not from that point.
Could you see the back seats?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Do you recall who subpoenaed you here to testify?
Yes.
You stated for the record.
Yes, I said. Oh, the state of Wisconsin District Attorney.
Do you see the state of Wisconsin present in the courtroom today?
Objection irrelevant.
Sustained. Let's move on. Under 90611, I've sustained all of the objections related to this line of questioning. It's not relevant. Next topic, or I will find that the cross-examination by you is done.
So you sustain every question pertaining to that part of the question, or is it for
Yes.
every testimony? Or
It's on that topic, so you may continue if you choose another topic.
have you ever seen the plaintiff's state of Wisconsin before?
Right, pursuant to 90611, judge controls the order and mode of interrogation. His questions violate sub 1, and Mr. Brooks will not be able to ask any further questions of this witness. State of any redirect.
No redirect, Your Honor.
I thank you. You may step down.
violated?
I'm not gonna address that right now. I think this will be a good time to take our afternoon break. So we'll be, I need to address a couple things with the parties, but as far as the jurors are concerned, about 15 minutes for the afternoon break, give or take. All rise for the jurors, please. Passed. 3 notes to the court. I review them as they come in. At times I put no response needed by the court. I initial it, date it, put the time. These will be uploaded into the file at some point. There was one particular request I do want to take up by Mr. Brooks, and that is at 1:11 p.m. he sent a note to the court indicating, I'm very emotional right now, can I go to the other court? I responded to that at 1:20 p.m. and I said the court will address this at the next break. Clerk advised to provide a copy of this response to the parties forthwith. I believe she may have provided even the other note, copy of the other note in my response at that time, but at a minimum I know my response was copied and provided to the parties. I did note that I saw Mr. Brooks reviewing the papers. They were put on the corner of his table. I wrote down the time. It's not at my fingertips. I'll look for that. But in any event, I did want to address that with you, Mr. Brooks. You've been in the courtroom. You've been meaningfully participating. Are you asking to go to the other courtroom?
We went back on the record. I was very emotional at that time. Still very emotional when I'm attempting as best I can to hold it together. That does lead me to, since we are addressing certain things outside the.
Well, I'm addressing this first, sir. Are you making requests to go to the other?
I'm not making any requests at this time. Like I just stated, I'm trying my best to hold everything together, considering how this day has been. I can't expect anybody else to know what's inside my head, to know what I'm going through right now, but we'll just leave that there.
All right, thank you. That is noted for the record. At some point, sir, after I admitted Exhibit 6, you raised an objection, and I told you I would allow you to raise that outside the presence of the jury. Now is your opportunity to do that.
And which one would you be referring to?
Exhibit 6, sir.
Or the video?
You've seen multiple videos, but yes, Exhibit 6 is a video, sir.
I think it's very clear what I was referring to in that video. That the interview portion of the officer with the 3 individuals has language in it that you made a ruling about, pertaining to a whole different entire.
Which part of the video, sir?
The interview part, I'm gonna say it again, as I've already said it clearly enough, the interview part between the officer and the 3 individuals.
What specifically are you referring to? What statement, sir? I need some specificity.
Do you need it played? Do you need it played?
Mr. Brooks, you are the one making the objection. Please make your offer of proof so I can rule on it.
The offer of proof is that there's language said by Erica Patterson in that interview that can be audible referring to another situation in another county. You made a ruling on that would not be admitted into evidence. So at the very least, that portion of the video that you've already admitted into evidence should be removed, or the whole video should be struck and removed from the record. And I'm saying that because of the ruling that you made, the judicial determination that you made, Your Honor.
We turn to the state attorney. Opper, I don't specifically recall. If I need to review it on a break, maybe I will, but do you have any idea what this is referring to?
I do not, Your Honor, I did not hear anything in that recording that would violate your previous orders.
It's very clear if the video was played that you can hear language said in that portion of the video that you clearly ruled on.
I'll review it at a later point in time. The state will need to just file that clip on a flash drive so I can review that in chambers. From my perspective, even if there were to be something, it was not offered for the truth of the matter asserted. This was to provide an account of what the officer was experiencing, but I'll review it. If there is something in there, I certainly can. It doesn't change the fact that the video itself is admissible. It might have an impact on whether it's played again for the jury, at least at that particular point. But again, I didn't personally catch that, but there was a lot going on in that video at that time, a lot of audio. There's clearly, in addition to the audio from the squad, you can hear the radio. So I will need to review it again. Mr. Brooks, I'd appreciate if you not roll your eyes at me. There was a lot going on in that video. I don't think anyone in this courtroom would disagree with me. What I'm telling you, I'm giving you the opportunity to raise the issue since you essentially didn't, well, let me state it this way. You raised it when you thought it was appropriate. I told you I'd take it up outside the presence of the jury. That's what I'm giving you the opportunity to do. What I'm telling you is I'm not going to make a ruling specifically because I need to watch the video. And so I don't think that's something you should be rolling your eyes at. That's proper for this court. It would be something that if I were to just give my ruling right now, it would be something that someone could look at later on and say, well, you just admitted on the record, you didn't hear it yourself. So what I'm telling you, sir, is I'm going to take the time, not now during the trial, but on a break when I can look at it in chambers and keep a careful ear out for what you said, and then I'll come back and make my ruling. So that's giving deference to your request. So I don't think it warrants you rolling your eyes at me.
I wasn't rolling my eyes to you about
So
that.
with that, we're on recess, 15 minutes, everyone. Please be seated. We are back on the record. Mr. Brooks, you have incredible hearing because you are right. At approximately 2:58, 2:59 in that video, I can hear Erica Patterson saying that I get into an argument or I argue with my baby daddy all the time and he previously ran over my foot. So I'm going to take the request under advisement. At this point, I'm inclined to strike this exhibit from the state's case. I'm going to give the parties over the weekend to file any written requests regarding it or further authority, and I'll address it first thing Monday morning. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. No, go ahead. Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to address that. It is an argument that's without merit. I'm summarily denying it yet again. We're going to bring the jury back up, okay? We're going to continue with testimony. Does the state have the next witness available? Your objection is noted for the record. We're continuing, Mr. Brooks. Thank you.
I'm aware of that, Your Honor. I was just trying to make sure I didn't interrupt you while you were saying something.
State's next witness, please.
Will you be proving the subject matter?
We need a jury. Oh, we do. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself. Let's bring the jury out.
Tenant's motion to dismiss this case for lack of personal and subject matter jurisdiction. And I'd like to state that for the record.
Statement is noted.
You have not proven subject matter jurisdiction yet, Your Honor. Are you making a judicial
And I
determination?
direct your attention to the Barnaby decision, Mr. Brooks.
Is that a judicial determination? The record should reflect then that I got no answer.
All rise for the jury. right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
Here, Your Honor, the state calls Detective Casey.
All right, Detective Casey, if you would please take the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in. Thank you. Please be seated. Would you please state your first and last names for the record and spell each?
Thomas Casey, Thomas, Casey, Casey.
Thank you. Detective Casey, what is your current employment?
I'm employed by the City of Waukesha Police Department.
And what is your rank?
I'm a detective.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
Over 25 years.
Directing your attention to the date of November 21, 2021, were you on duty that day, sir?
Yes, I was.
In what capacity?
Well, my rank was detective, but I was assigned to the Christmas parade as traffic control.
Okay. Just helping out?
Just helping out.
All right. And have you patrolled the Christmas parade in the past, sir?
Yes, I have for many years.
Okay. And the parade's always held on Main Street in downtown Waukesha, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. About what time did you report to the parade route?
That day, myself and 3 other people started at 1 p.m.
And where'd you go?
My position was on White Rock Avenue and East Main Street.
Okay. And as a detective, you typically dress in plain clothes, is that correct?
Typically,
That day, were you in plain clothes or police uniform?
I was in a police uniform.
Could you describe that for the jury, please?
I had a jacket on that had shoulder patches on each side. I had a hat that said police on the top of it. And I had a neon vest on that said police on the front and back of it.
Were you driving a squad car?
I had an unmarked squad with me, and I also had a marked Ford Explorer with me.
And the unmarked squad, are there any red and blue emergency lights on that squad, sir?
Yes, there are.
In more than one location?
Yes, the front, rears, and then the sides.
Okay. At your post there on White Rock and Main Street, did you have your unmarked squad parked there?
Yes, I did.
And then there was also a marked squad parked there.
Correct.
Were the red and blue lights activated on those squads?
Yes, they were.
What was the purpose in activating the red and blue lights?
To notify traffic that the road was closed down, make it easier to see.
Okay. And you said you reported for duty at 1 p.m.?
Yes.
And about what time was it when you actually went down to the parade route and shut down that intersection?
Right when I got there at 1 p.m.
Okay. So that area was closed since 1 p.m. that afternoon?
Correct. So the area on White Rock Avenue between Niagara and Main Street is the staging area for the parade floats when they come in. So they close that area about 3 hours earlier before the parade starts.
I see. What was the weather like that day?
It's very cold and windy out.
What time was the parade supposed to start?
4 p.m.
And do you know about how many units were participating in the parade?
There were 67 units that were assigned that day.
And all of them are told to report to the staging area to line up before they get onto the parade route, is that right?
Correct. The roadway is closed to my position, and they're all supposed to enter from the north and come south.
Okay. How many spectators would you estimate were present at the parade?
Oh, there had to be at least 5,000 people. There were there. The parade route is about 0.6 of a mile long. The sidewalks were packed. There were some people in roadways, so we estimate that there was probably at least 5,000 people watching the parade that day.
Okay. And you're obviously aware, sir, that there was a tragic event that occurred as the parade was underway, correct?
Correct.
Do you know of the 67 units that you told us about? How many units were impacted directly by the conduct of Mr. Darrell Brooks?
There was 8 units that all had people that were injured during the parade.
And you know which units those are, or which groups those are?
Yes, I do.
if I were to show you video of those groups, early in the parade route before the SUV goes through, would you be able to identify those groups for us and tell us a little bit about each one?
Certainly.
All right. Just to be clear, sir, well, if we could please put up exhibit 1. This way to ask my question. Exhibit 1 will be followed.
Your objection is noted, it's overruled.
So, again, the direction of travel for the parade is what? Which direction, sir?
The parade starts in this area right here.
Okay.
This here is the staging area, and it travels this way, which is southwesterly fashion, and then it proceeds this direction, which is west.
Okay. So, the units that were struck first by the SUV were near the end of the parade, correct?
Near the end, or maybe the middle. There were still some parades that haven't even started the parade around yet, and there were some that had already finished.
Okay. And so, we'll just play these videos, please, and I'm going to ask you again, as we play them, to identify the various groups that were impacted. So, any requests as we like to give that annotation? No, I don't think so, not at this time, Your Honor. We can let that one go.
All right, Mr. Brooks, any request as it relates to the annotation?
I don't understand what is annotation.
Next time, wait. The monitor, the touch screen made annotations, made marks, we've been capturing it. The state said they were not asking that an exhibit be made. Unfortunately, they're no longer on there. So we won't have the specific markings. Would you have wanted those markings to be captured? Okay, because I would give instructions to Detective Casey to redo them if you wanted. All right, then go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to ask, we're going to preview Exhibit 10. You see the beginning of Exhibit 10 on your screen, sir?
No, I do not. I have an image on there now.
Okay. Do you recognize that image?
Yes, I do.
You know Exhibit 10 to be a video clip.
Yes, I do.
Looking at it right now, do you recognize the group that is displayed on that first screenshot, I guess, from the video that's displayed?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what group do you see there, sir?
The Catholic Communities of Waukesha.
Okay. And do you believe this clip that we're about to show the jury will be a truthful and accurate representation of the parade units as they enter the parade route?
Overruled.
Yes, I do believe that they do.
Okay. Move to admit number 10 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
For the record, how long is Exhibit 10?
It is 3 minutes and 31 seconds, Your Honor.
Any position by Mr. Brooks? Your objection is noted, it's overruled. Permission, Exhibit 10 is received, permission to publish is granted. Mr. Brooks, your objection is noted, it's overruled. I'll answer this. I believe the evidence is relevant to the charges in this case.
Detective Casey, before we begin playing the video, what do you see? Could you please describe for the jury and orient them to what they're seeing at this point?
So this would be the Catholic Communities of Waukesha. They'd be marching westbound on Main Street, which is at the early beginning of the parade. And the cross street there would be East Avenue, and the church behind them should be St. Matthias Church.
Okay. And did they have a banner in front of their group as they marched down the road?
Yes, they do.
Okay. To your knowledge, sir, you've seen many videos from this parade, correct?
Correct.
And you saw some of these units, at least as they entered the route, correct?
Correct.
Did the Catholic community of Waukesha, did the participants for that group wear any specific clothing or uniforms, to your knowledge?
No, they do not.
The objection is noted, it's overruled, and the answer may stand.
And to your knowledge, did they walk in any sort of formation?
It was just a random formation. Sometimes they changed a little bit as they were walking.
Okay. Please play. And now it's about the 24-second mark. What's the next unit coming in the screen?
The dancing grannies.
Okay. And they have a banner?
Correct.
Okay.
And the woman on the left-hand side of the screen is Virginia Sorensen.
On the left-hand side of the screen, or the left-hand side of the street.
Question asks who the person was.
I'll sustain the objection. The answer was non-responsive. I'll strike it. Next question. Juries shall disregard the last answer provided by Detective Kesey.
All right. Actually, we're just going to play this and we won't identify any people at this point. To your knowledge, sir, did the dancing grannies have a uniform?
Yes, they did.
Do you remember generally what it looked like?
It was a blue dress. They had hats. They had some lights around them. White tennis shoes.
Okay. And did they march in a formation, to your knowledge?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Please play. What's that vehicle, sir?
It's a support vehicle for the dancing grannies.
All right. Did you happen to see that? No, strike that. All right. So that they had a banner in front and then a white, looked like SUV type vehicle at the rear of their group?
Yes.
Okay. That was the 146 mark. I paused and we will continue to play. And if you could please pause. At the 205 mark, which unit is this, please?
This would be Citizens Bank.
And did these participants have a uniform or something that would be recognizable?
Not really uniform, but a couple of ladies got together and wore the same pants and jackets over top, and then some Santa hats.
Okay. And they have this float associated with their unit?
Yes.
Okay. Did they march in a formation, to your knowledge?
No, just sort of random. They were handing out candy, walking around, and no specific place.
Okay.
This would be extreme dance.
And do you know about how many people are involved with this unit?
Overruled. You may answer.
I would estimate about 35 girls, younger age, varying.
Okay. And again, they started with a banner in the front.
Yes.
Did they have a support vehicle involved as well?
Yes, pickup truck that there were 2 people in the back of the bed, which were resupplying the candy for people that were marching.
Okay. These girls have a certain uniform.
Yes, they did.
What do you remember about their uniform?
Black tights, black sweater, white tennis shoes, and they all had a headband on that lit up.
To your knowledge, did they march in formation?
The girls in the front, there was 4 different groups of girls based on sort of their age and their ability. The girls in the front had more of a formation than some of the tiny tots that were in the back.
Okay. Explain.
No. Well, how much price? 17 now.
Marquise?
Yeah, Marquise.
Yeah, Marquise. 19.
19? He still way faster than you?
Yeah, Marquise fast. He go to college.
Oh, okay.
Yo, back at it, baby.
Good in the world.
After this video, man, I got some content I need to run.
All right, that's the end of that clip. I'd like to show you another clip that's been marked as State's Exhibit number 11 so that we can continue with the parade units, please. We'll preview it for you, sir.
Your objection is noted, is overruled. And you may question the witness regarding the exhibit.
Thank you.
Would note for Mr. Brooks that in addition to being relevant to the charges, it also goes to background and context. Background to the event. Events that led up to
Like
all
detail,
of the charges, the reason for why we're here.
detail background.
It's regarding the parade, sir.
I don't understand, but okay. Don't understand.
Statements noted for the record.
Technical difficulties, Judge, trying to spin the video to get it upright.
up on my monitor.
All right, thanks. I appreciate everyone's patience. I apologize. All right, sir. You now see front screen of the State's Exhibit number 11, correct?
Yes, I do.
And it's upright.
Correct.
Okay. And you have seen State's Exhibit number 11 before, correct?
Yes, I have.
You believe that you
No, we don't need no one.
Is it easy? Outside.
See the same person that was directly in the camera when it was sideways. Looks like a totally different video.
No, it's not harder. That's because it's the last time
They sling a foundation for that. And I'm gonna let them continue questioning.
that you've seen State's Exhibit number 11 before, correct?
Yes, I have.
And you believe it's a true and accurate representation of the events of November 21, 2021?
Yes.
So your objection is noted and so overruled.
Yes, I do.
All right, move for admission of number 11 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, any position on the admission of exhibit
Yes,
11?
I definitely object. This is not the same video that was just attempted to be shown. This is a totally different video.
Mr. Brooks, your objection is noted. There wasn't much testimony about whatever that prior exhibit was. And going off of his testimony about seeing this particular video clip, there's a still image in front of him that he identified, he previously reviewed, and it's accurate, true and accurate. So based on that, your objection is noted, but it is overruled. I'll receive exhibit 11. Permission to publish is granted.
Last video then that did.
The last video wasn't admitted, sir. There were technical issues, they moved on. We will continue, go ahead.
Okay, so again, please orient us.
So we are now a little bit further west on Main Street. This is about maybe 2 blocks west of the last location. And the cross street would be at northwest Barstow Street.
Okay. And what unit is shown on the screen at the moment?
This would be the Waukesha Blazer support vehicle, and then the baseball players from shortly behind it.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did this group walk in any certain formation?
No, they didn't. They walked around. They were also handing out candy, just sort of walking around, making with the crowd and themselves.
Okay. And were some of the players wearing their baseball jerseys?
Yes, they were.
And other individuals who just had on like hats and coats and nothing discernible, correct?
Coats and hats.
Your objection is noted, it's overruled.
So most of the players had their jerseys on with their numbers on the back, but there was also some coaches that were marching with them, and they just had regular jackets and they had some on.
Okay. Please play. All right.
So based on that, your objection is noted.
At the 38-second mark, we pause it, or 39 seconds, we pause it. What's the next unit coming into view?
This would be Paris Logistics, the pickup truck that fully float that has the Grinch on the back.
Okay. Please play. And now at the 103 mark, we paused it. What's the next unit coming into view?
This would be the Waukesha South High School marching band.
Go ahead.
there's the mascot first for the Waukesha South Band, and then directly behind that is the Remax Realty support vehicle.
Okay. Is it easy to distinguish the Remax vehicle?
Yes, they had a big hot air balloon basket on the back, and they had a flame that's going out the top. It was
Okay.
very noticeable.
Okay. Please play. And we're going to stop it there at about the 2:15 mark. So that's the Remax group going through, correct, sir?
That is correct.
Okay. Are those the 8 units that were most directly impacted by Mr. Brooks' actions on the parade route, sir?
Obstructions noted, it's overruled.
Yes, they were.
In addition to that, there were some spectators that were injured. Is that correct, sir?
Correct. There's, I would say, 3 different groups of people, spectators that were sitting on the side of the roadway that were also injured.
Okay. At some point, did you and other members of the Waukesha Police Department attempt to identify all the individuals who were injured as a result of Mr. Brooks' actions on the parade route?
Yes, we did.
And about roughly how many people was that?
There are over 60 people that were injured that we identified.
Okay. Were you able, through your investigation detective, to determine where along the parade route each of these individuals were located at the time they were injured?
Yes, we were.
And were you able to map that information so that we can present it to this jury?
Yes.
I'd like to please put up number 15 in preview mode. Detective, do you see State's Exhibit number 15 on the screen?
Not yet.
Okay, sorry. Is it up?
No.
Okay, okay, please tell me when it is.
It is up now.
All right. Can you please identify State's Exhibit 15?
This is a map that I put together that identifies the officers that were on the scene, certain locations of interest that people mentioned when they were interviewed. Also identifies the victims and the deceased that died during the parade events.
Is this an accurate summary of your investigation, sir?
Yes, it is.
Move to admit number 15 and permission to publish.
The exhibit is received subject to all of the other events laying the foundation for this are ultimately presented to this jury, but you may publish as well.
Thank you. All right, and please, Ms. Gussie, if you could zoom in on the upper right-hand corner again, we'll start there again. All right, so first in the upper right-hand corner, you've designated where the location of White Rock School and the altercation with Miss Erica Patterson that we had testimony about earlier, correct?
Correct.
And then moving down White Rock, we see the location where Sergeant Warner was, correct?
Correct.
And then we'll keep moving down, please. could you start at that spot and describe what's in that area and then start working down the street towards Buckley?
So my location, I had two vehicles with me, an unmarked Ford Taurus and a marked Ford Explorer. We had put the squad and the two squads in plastic barricades diagonal, so parade traffic could continue on westbound. The vehicular traffic that was on East Main Street and Pleasant Street could make turns, and so we wouldn't obstruct traffic that much.
Could you draw that path for us, what you're referring to?
So the vehicles could continue this way without being stopped,
Okay.
or the opposite way. And then the flow of the parade in this way down to my location and continued westbound without being obstructed.
Okay. I'm not asking for that to be captured, Your Honor.
Annotations be captured.
Pretty rude that they would be.
So that was for that one particular.
We don't need it, obviously.
All right, then it won't be captured. Go ahead and clear.
All right, sir. Through your investigation, were you able to determine who was the first person struck by the defendant's vehicle?
Yes, it was.
Who was that?
Nicole White.
She was with the Remax Group?
Yes.
And where was she when she was struck? If you could show us on the diagram.
She was on West Main Street, just west of Northwest Barstow Street.
And if you could please show us more the bottom of the map, Ms. Gussie. Okay.
Any requests to capture that annotation from the state or the defendant?
No.
Yes, capture.
All right, we'll capture that. Will be 1D.
Actually, this isn't one. This is 15.
Oh, sorry, 15D.
8.
Yes, 15A. Thank you for the correction.
Okay, now, is it captured, Madam Clerk? I see it, yeah. Okay. Please. Okay. The next unit to have been struck by the defendant's vehicle was what?
The Washington South Band.
See the names of the individuals in the van that were injured by the SUV, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and that location you identified near the subway and another business known as Vino Gelato.
Correct.
Okay. What was the next, well, I guess the next unit or individuals to be struck were spectators, is that correct?
That is correct. It'd be Charles Green and Lily Green.
And they were near the Martha Merrill bookstore, correct?
They were on Main Street, just west of Gasper Street,
Okay.
sitting on a little bump out from the curb.
Okay, and they were spectators.
Yes.
Okay. The next group to have been struck,
It would be the group is Bears Logistics Group.
okay. And what business were they struck nearby?
They were by Vasco Social Club.
Okay. Now we need to go to the top of the map again, please. The next unit that was struck by the defendant's SUV,
It'd be the Waukesha Blazers baseball.
and how many individuals with the Blazers were impacted by the SUV?
5 directly.
And their names are listed there on exhibit 15.
Yes, they are.
And Jackson Sparks' name is highlighted in red. Why?
He's one of the 6 deceased people in this incident.
Okay. The next unit to be impacted,
That would be the Extreme Dance Team.
and the names associated with that team are listed on exhibit 15.
Yes, they are.
And what was the general area in the street where they were impacted? What business?
They were right in front of Mama Ducky's Bakery. Waukesha Pan, straight before the 5 Points in Waukesha, which is an area where Broadway and Main Street cross.
Okay. Back into the 5 Point area. And were there any spectators injured in that exact area?
Yes, there were.
And who was that, please?
Isaac Foglia and Deborah Ramirez.
Okay. Then, getting through the 5 Points, what was the next group impacted?
It would be Citizens Bank.
Okay. And that was Jane Kulik.
Correct.
She was fatally injured.
Yes.
Okay. Next group? Or I guess the next group is actually spectators.
Correct. There was 3 children that were sitting on the north side of the roadway on the corner of Clinton Street and West Main, and they were struck by the vehicle when it came through.
What business is located right there?
The Steaming Cup is on the northwest corner of that intersection, so they were very close to that.
Okay. The next unit that was impacted,
That would be the Dancing Greens.
and that was just past Clinton Street, sir?
Correct, just west of Clinton on West Main Street.
Okay. And you've listed the names of the persons that were injured by the defendant's vehicle associated with the Dancing Grannies, correct?
The injured and the deceased.
Okay. And again, you designated the deceased with red, color red,
Yes,
and the others were just injured.
correct.
Okay. And that was near a couple businesses that you noted on the map, sir?
That took up a very large part of the roadway. It was very spread out, but Donnie Boy's Tap, Curry Insurance, those are the 2 most common businesses in that area.
And if we could move on to the last group. So, what was the last group to be impacted by the defendant's vehicle?
The Catholic communities of Washington.
And have you listed there the names of all the individuals who were injured by the defendant's vehicle related to the Catholic communities of Waukesha?
Yes, I have.
Identifier consent to be called the defendant.
Your objections noted.
And is there a business or entity nearby that in the area where the Catholic community was struck?
The closest place would be Planned Parenthood.
Okay. All right, thank you. We can take down exhibit 15, and then next I'm going to ask you to please pull up number 12. Well, since you're doing that, Detective, I'll ask you a pretty basic question. All of the locations that you've described for us so far, are they all located in the city of Waukesha,
Yes, they are.
county of Waukesha,
Yes, ma'am.
state of Wisconsin?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, are you aware as to some drone footage being captured of the parade route the next day after the parade?
Yes, I am.
Who captured that footage?
Specialist Andy Schmidt.
Works for your department, sir?
Yes, he does in the evidence department.
Okay. And was the drone able to travel the length of the parade route?
This captures from the area where the people start being injured. We didn't capture the entire route.
Okay. And to your knowledge, sir, you've seen this video before, correct?
Yes, I have.
Is it a true and accurate depiction of the way Main Street looked on the morning of November 22, 2021 at about 9:56 a.m.?
Yes, it is.
By now, all of the injured have been removed from the scene, obviously.
Injured and deceased.
Okay, but there's still objects in the roadway,
Correct.
and investigators and other people can be seen in the drone footage.
Yes.
Okay. Move to admit number 12 and permission to publish, please.
Position by you, Mr. Brooks.
Objection.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 12 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Okay, so again, gonna start playing this, and I will ask Ms. Gussie to pause at various occasions so you can describe what we're seeing, but if you can just give us a general idea where we are right now, please.
So right now the drone would be sitting on pretty low to the ground on West Main Street, just west of Northwest Barstow.
And which direction is it facing?
It would be facing west,
Okay.
the direction of the parade took.
Okay. And can you see or identify the business on the right-hand side?
That would be Smart Asset Realty.
Okay. And can you tell us, I don't know if you can tell what's on the left-hand side. Can you identify anything?
Just a little bit further up is Subway sandwich shop, and I know that Divino Gelato is right next to it.
Okay, that's kind of right above the roof of that vehicle that's parked there on the left, right? I see Subway sign.
Correct.
Okay. All right, please play. Pause it here, please, at the 23-second mark. Was anybody struck in this area, sir,
Yes, this would be the area that Nicole White was struck.
with the Remax balloon?
Correct.
Okay. And now we got a better shot of the subway there on the left.
Correct.
Okay, and on the right past Asset Realty, there's the tall building with some mirrored windows on the right. Did you see that?
Correct. That should be 220 West Main Street.
And what's located there, sir?
It's an apartment building, 5 levels, and we captured some video that was recorded on the top floor of that building.
Okay. All right, play. And we'll pause it at the 35-second mark. Was anybody struck in this area, sir?
This would be the area of the Waukesha South Band.
Okay. And we'll pause it there. At the 59-second mark, what do we see here, sir? The businesses identified, please.
There's a chocolate shop on the left, and then Gelato is just on your left, and the front building on your left with the black roof is Mark Merrill's bookstore.
Okay. Is anybody struck in this area?
This would be the area that Barris Logistics was at.
Okay. Wait. I'm going to talk, but you keep it playing. It's at the 117 mark. What's that cross street here?
This would be Gasper Street.
Okay.
That area there is where there were some spectators that were hit.
Okay. Thank you. Now we've just crossed Gasper.
Correct.
Okay.
The joke shop is on your left, and the Waukesha Theater's on your right. That's the area that the Waukesha Blazers were in when they were hit.
Okay. Now we're approaching the 5 points area, sir?
Correct.
All right. Is any group injured in this area?
This is where the Extreme Dance Club was when they were impacted.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. At the 240 mark here, what's this business on the right?
Just for the record, who are the people off to the right?
You can question the witness during cross-examination, okay?
On the right, there's Mama Ducky's and Chef Pam's kitchen.
And this is where we get that weird cross streets. That's why it's called 5 points, right?
Correct.
That's why everybody gets lost in downtown Waukesha, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now we've gotten through the 5 points. And what business is on the right, sir? We're at the 319 mark.
There's a Irish restaurant on the right, and then coming up ahead is the Steaming Cup. That's right on the corner, on the right corner. And then on the left corner would be People's Park, which is the restaurant.
And that's the Clark Hotel on the right?
Correct.
Okay. Pause it here at the 351 mark. Do you see a vehicle in the picture at this point, sir?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what unit that vehicle is associated with?
That's the support vehicle for Citizens Bank.
Is this the area where Jane Kulik was struck and killed?
Yes, just up in front of the vehicle on the right-hand side, there's 2 green hash marks that would be the location that she was found at.
Okay. Explain, please. I already mentioned that Steaming Cup on the right, correct?
Correct.
And there were some kids hurt on the corner there?
Yes, on this corner where the blankets were, there's 3 kids that were sitting there that were impacted.
Now at this point, it's about 4:17, and the drone's gonna focus in on some skid marks on the roadway, is that right?
That is correct.
After further investigation, did these skid marks have any relevance to this investigation, sir?
We believe they have no relevance to this investigation at all.
But at the time, we weren't sure, correct?
Correct.
All right, now we're through that intersection. Did anything of significance occur in this area, sir? We're at the 517 mark of the video.
Yes, this is where the dancing grannies were at when they were impacted.
All right, please identify some of the businesses as we're going. Well, yeah, first, we just passed a white vehicle at the 523 mark. What was that?
That's the dancing grannies support vehicle.
Okay.
And then directly on the right in front of that is Donny Boy's, which
Okay.
is a bar. And then up a little bit further on your left-hand side is Curry Insurance.
Okay, and you see Magellan's on the right with the big M?
Correct.
Okay. And you said this is the area where the dancing grannies were impacted.
Yes.
Are you able to tell from this drone the area where the position of 3 of the deceased victims from the dancing grannies were located? And
Yes,
as we go further.
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm asking a foundational question. All right, we'll go ahead and play, please. Pause. That's the 532 mark. Can you identify for us what we see here, please?
On the left-hand side, there's a pavement marking with green paint, and there's some towels that were used for giving medical aid and a lot of blood on the ground.
Do you know who was found at this location, sir?
Yes, I do.
Who was that?
Tamara Durand.
She's a deceased victim from the grannies?
Yes, she is.
Okay. How about on the left-hand side of the video, there's a building that I can read says Karate Studios. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Was another victim of the dancing grannies found in that location?
Yes, there was.
Who was found in that position, sir?
Leanna Owens.
Okay. Please keep playing the video. That's Curry Insurance on the left. I can see the sign.
Correct.
Okay. And coming up will be the third position for one of the dancing grannies who suffered fatal injuries as a result of this incident, sir.
Yes.
Right there.
Correct.
Who was found in that location?
Virginia Sorensen.
Okay. Playing. What's the side street we're passing here?
Maple Avenue.
Okay. And what are we approaching here in this area, sir?
We're going up to the area where Catholic Charities were impacted, and on the right, there's a building with it's a one-story building with a black roof that goes around. That would be Planned Parenthood of Waukesha or Wisconsin.
And now we're getting towards the end of Main Street here where it turns to Wisconsin Avenue?
That's correct.
Okay. It's a natural bend in the road to the left, right?
That is correct.
Dog leg left. Now we are past the point where anybody is further struck by the vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
No, nobody was injured in this location.
No, they were not.
We're approaching, if the video will go, we're approaching Veterans Park.
Correct. Veterans Park is directly in front. If you were not to not turn on the roadway, you would run into Veterans Park.
Right where that big tree is in the middle of the street.
Yes.
All right. I'm impatient, so I'm gonna have you describe for us as we turn the bend, what's the significance of this area, sir?
So in this area, when the vehicle that was hitting and killing all these people came up to the bend in the road, it turned to the left, and Officer Schulten was standing there, and he made the decision to use deadly force to attempt to stop the vehicle.
Okay. And that's this intersection here that we're seeing where the two squad cars are parked.
Yes, it is.
This is the area where Officer Scholten was standing when he fired at the defendant's vehicle.
Yes, it is.
All right. Go ahead and stop it at the 801 mark, please. Thank you. Oh, wait, before you turn it off, it's kind of hard to see, and nobody probably will be able to read it, but maybe you, if you look real close. In the upper left-hand corner, there's a date and time stamp on the drone video. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, they do.
Could you please read that?
It says 2021-11-22, and then it says 10:06, and I can't read the smaller numbers. So to me, that would mean it was November 22nd, 2021 at 10:06.
That's the time this recording was made, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
We'll turn to a new topic.
Actually, I don't have too much more with Detective Casey. I could probably finish my direct in about the next 10 or 15 minutes, Your Honor.
I'll let you finish the direct and we'll reserve cross for Monday morning.
Thank you. Sir, I want to show you another item that's been marked as exhibit. Exhibit 141. Can I approach a witness, Your Honor?
Right. And then if you accept exceptions to that, sir.
Will I be awarded the same?
Mr. Brooks, we'll take that up later.
Sir, can you please identify number 141?
This is a list of everyone that is named victim in this case, which count it refers to, and the group that they're associated with.
Is that a summary of the testimony that you just provided, sir?
First, are we still looking at the video?
No, we can turn that off. Thank you. So your objection is, that is granted. Do you have an objection to the question that was asked? Okay, keep going.
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's document we created for use of this trial. Is that right, sir?
Yes,
Keep track of everybody.
correct.
Keep the counts all straight.
There's a lot of information to keep track of.
Okay. Move for admission of 141 and, yep, 141. I'm not going to publish that, Your Honor. I just wanted in the record.
Is that a document?
Your objection is noted. It's overruled and the court will receive it.
Be able to view it?
Copy will be provided to you if it's not within the materials previously.
Now, Detective Casey, I would like to return back to your post on White Rock Avenue and Main Street on November 21 of 2021. And do you remember something happening around 4:35 p.m. that afternoon, sir?
Yes, I do.
What do you remember?
It was a normal day. It was windy out. It was cold. A little bit after 4 p.m., I heard on Channel 1, which is a primary channel that our road squads use. Squads being did. First, I heard a reserve officer call that he's out to people, and they reported that there was a fight down by the boat launch.
Okay. Did that draw your attention for any reason?
It was just a little bit north of my location, and I just wanted to make sure that I was aware in case somebody came in my direction.
Okay. But you didn't leave your post?
I did not.
Okay. What do you remember happening next, sir?
They dispatched a number of squads there to attempt to locate this incident.
What did you do?
You know what? I started just paying a little bit more attention. I stood up. I started looking in that direction just to try to be aware in case somebody came my way.
Okay. And at some point, did you hear a radio transmission from Sergeant Warner?
I am aware of the transmission, but I did not hear it that day.
Okay. How did you become alerted to a problem?
It was about 4:37 p.m. I was standing up. I was sort of in the diagonal part of the intersection, and I heard a horn blaring, beep, 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 and that sort of like alerted me, trying to figure out what was going on White Rock in the staging area. So I started to look up that way.
Okay. What did you see?
At first, I didn't see anything, and then a few seconds later, I saw the people in the staging area start to spread apart, and within seconds, a red Ford Escape appeared to come through where the staging area was.
You saw this with your own eyes?
Yes, I did.
And did you see where the red Ford Escape went?
Yes, I did.
Where did it go?
Well, first it was coming down southbound. There was a vehicle that was stopped at the intersection in the lane that was supposed to turn to the left. That was part of the parade. This vehicle went around that car and then made a started to make a left-hand turn.
Okay. What action, if any, did you take?
You know, as soon as I heard the car beeping and I was alerted, I started to head towards the center of the intersection. As the vehicle continued at me, I ran to get in front of the vehicle to try to get it to stop.
What was going through your mind at this point?
I thought it was just a lost motorist, somebody from the apartment building that wanted to get in their parking spot. You know, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes there's people that come through. They're impatient. What's going on? It's like it's a parade, and we have to tell them, hey, you can't be on the road right now. They always stop.
So you thought there was some innocent explanation at this point?
Correct. I thought I would get out in front of the car and he would just stop. We'd have a conversation and we'd safely get him off the parade route.
Okay. How did you try and stop the car, the Ford Escape?
Well, at first I was a little surprised that the vehicle kept coming at me because I'm in full police uniform. I'm standing in front of it and it started closing the distance pretty fast. So as the vehicle approached me, it started pounding on the hood.
So you were close enough to pound on the hood of the car?
Yes, I was in the roadway and the distance closed really fast.
Okay. How fast was the car traveling, would you say?
It could be 3 to 5 miles an hour, but in that area with all the people around and a vehicle that weighs 2,000 pounds against a person, I mean, it came upon me very fast and was very threatening.
Sure, but I mean, by its speedometer, it's not moving very fast, correct?
Correct.
At this stage?
Correct.
Okay. So you pound on the hood?
Correct.
Do you say anything?
I'm yelling stop and pounding on the hood and trying to get the person's attention so they can stop.
What happened?
The vehicle continued going. It like pushed right through me.
Were you struck by the car?
Yes.
How?
The vehicle contacted my body, and as it continued, I pushed down the left front of the vehicle.
Okay. And were you injured?
No,
Okay. Did you see the driver of the car as it raced past?
yes, I did.
Did you get a good look?
An excellent look.
Who was driving that car, sir?
Darrell Brooks, the defendant.
You're 100% sure of that?
1,000.
Was there anybody else in the car, sir?
Not that I saw.
Show you an item that's been marked as exhibit number 8, please. Tell me when it's up. Yes, 8.
Thank you.
It is up.
What do you see on the screen, sir?
So this is a camera from Randy's Imports, which will be on the southwest corner where I was located at. There's a number of cars in the parking lot, and on the north side, you can see West Main Street, and there's a number of people that are on the sides of the roads that were spectators in the parade, and then there's people that were actually marching in the parade that you can see they have red shirts on.
You've seen this video clip before, sir?
Yes, I have.
Do you believe it's true and accurate representation of the events of November 21, 2021?
Absolutely.
And this clip is about 28 seconds long, is that right?
Yes.
Move to admit and permission to publish number 8.
What's my position on that? Is that an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your objection is noted, it's overruled. Exhibit 8 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Okay, please orientate us.
So this is the south right here. This would be looking to the north, and White Rock Avenue is in this area here. This here is Main Street.
Okay. Right near that arrow that you drew, near the top of the screen, it looks like there's a very bright light at the top of the screen. See that?
The street lights,
No.
or to the right.
Yep, right there. What's up in that area, sir?
That would be the squad cars that I had with me.
Okay. You have the red and blues on?
Correct, on both vehicles.
Okay, and that's what that light is in that area.
Yes.
Now you scribbled all over this, but can you see yourself?
Not right now.
Not right now. Where do you remember standing?
So if the squad cars were by this circle right here,
Yeah.
I would have been like right in this area to the left.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, but I'm going to ask Ms. Gussie to put it in full screen because I'm not going to be pausing it or stopping it. I want to make sure we capture the whole top and bottom of this one. Okay.
We'll clear the annotations since this is a video.
So I'm going to play it through once, and we're just going to watch it, and then I'll ask you what we saw. We can go back if we need to. Play.
Do you want me to talk while it's going on or after?
No, because I can't see the counter, so. Okay, we're going to do that one again with the counter up so I can pause it and have you point out. It's really hard to see what the heck we're supposed to be looking at on this one, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So here we are. We're paused. Whoop, you're going to start. Okay. That's okay.
So right by flashing lights on the left-hand side, you'll suddenly see me come out with the orange vest on.
Pause, please. Sorry to interrupt you, Detective. Okay, we're pausing at the 8-second mark. Show us circle where the jury's supposed to be looking right now. And what are we gonna see up there?
You should see me walk from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, slow speed at first and then speeding up towards the end.
You are, in other words, you picked up the pace.
Correct, and then shortly after you will see the red Ford Escape come down the street here and traverse westbound on Main Street.
Okay, now, is this video good enough to see you actually pounding on the hood?
Unfortunately, this black pickup truck is blocking where that happened at. If that pickup truck wasn't there, you would be able to see it.
Okay, and just to remind us, you're in a bright fluorescent yellow safety vest, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, play, please. Right there, is that you?
That is me.
Okay, 12 seconds. Circle yourself, please. We're paused at 12 seconds. Okay. Okay, go ahead and play, please. There's the red SUV.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's it for Exhibit 8. I'm going to ask Ms. Gussie to pull up Exhibit 120.
The photo is up.
Okay. Have you seen this photograph before, sir?
Yes, I have.
This is State's Exhibit 120. Do you believe this photograph is a true and accurate representation of the events of November 21, 2021?
Yes, I do.
You've seen this photograph before, sir?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Just tell the jury what it's a picture of.
It's a picture of the Ford Escape that was involved in this incident, and Darrell Brooks, the defendant, driving the vehicle.
Okay. Move to admit 120 and permission to publish.
Objection is noted, it's overruled. Exhibit 120 is received, permission to publish is granted.
It's being called that name or defendant.
Objection is noted.
Well,
Overruled.
Okay, Doctor, please help the jury see what we're supposed to see. Where is the red SUV? Dumb question.
So it looks like a person that's involved in the band. One of the band people are to your right in the center. And then right in the middle of the screen, you see a red vehicle. And then seated at the driver's seat is a gentleman with a white hoodie on.
And appears to be black facial hair, is that correct?
Correct.
Is that what Darrell Brooks looked like as he drove past you just a block or two earlier?
objection. I do not consent to being called that name. I do not know anyone by that name, nor do I agree to being called that name. And it's hearsay.
It's not hearsay, your objection's overruled. You may answer, Detective.
Yes, that's the defendant, Darrell Brooks, the person that drove past me and didn't stop when I tried to stop the vehicle.
Is that how he looked as he drove past you?
Yes, it is.
With the hood up?
To be honest with you, I don't remember the hood up when he went past me. It happened very fast. I could only see the outline of his face. I know some people later on say that they saw him with hair. When I saw the pictures with his hoodie up, it explained to me why I did not see his hair.
Okay. All right. Just let me, can someone here 1 second? I think I'm down for right now. further questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, I will give you an opportunity to cross-examine, but that will be Monday morning since it is 4:41. Now 4:42. We've had a long week for the jurors and a couple of long nights, so I'm going to break now. I do need to read through an instruction. He may step down. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is presented and I have instructed you on the law. Do not discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else until your final deliberations in the jury room. This order is not limited to face-to-face conversations. It also extends to all forms of electronic communications. Do not use any electronic devices such as a mobile phone or computer, text or instant messaging, or social networking sites to send or receive any information about this case or your experience as a juror. If you come in contact with the parties, lawyers, interpreters, or witnesses, do not speak with them. For their part, the parties, lawyers, interpreters, and witnesses will not contact or speak with the jurors. Do not listen to any conversation about this case. Do not research any information that you personally think might be helpful to you in understanding the issues presented. Do not investigate this case on your own or visit the scene, either in person or by any electronic means. Do not read any newspaper reports or listen to any news reports on radio, television, over the internet, or any other electronic application or tool about this trial. Do not consult dictionaries, computers, electronic applications, social media, the internet, or other reference materials for additional information. Do not seek information regarding the public records of any party or witness in this case. Any information you obtain outside the courtroom could be misleading, inaccurate, or incomplete. Relying on this information is unfair because the parties would not have the opportunity to refute, explain, or correct it. Do not communicate with anyone about this trial or your experience as a juror while you are serving on this jury. Do not use a computer, cell phone, or other electronic device, including personal wearable electronics applications or tools with communication capabilities, to share any information about this case. For example, do not communicate by telephone, blog post, email, text message, instant message, social media post, or in any other way on or off the computer. Do not permit anyone to communicate with you about this matter, either in person, electronically, or by any other means. If anyone does so despite your telling them not to, you should report that to me. I appreciate that it is tempting when you go home in the evening to discuss this case with another member of your household, but you may not do so. This case must be decided by you, the jurors, based on the evidence presented in this courtroom. People not serving on this jury have not heard the evidence, and it is improper for them to influence your deliberations and decision in this case. After the trial is completed, you are free to communicate with anyone in any manner. These rules are intended to assure that jurors remain impartial throughout the trial. If any juror has any reason to believe that another juror has violated these rules, you should report that to me. If jurors do not comply with these rules, it could result in a new trial involving additional time and significant expense to the parties and the taxpayers. You are to decide the case solely on the evidence offered and received at trial. With that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are excused for the weekend. We'll see you Monday morning. All right, for the jury, please. record to reflect that the state has provided to the clerk exhibit 120. Sorry, 141. You look back a page. 141. That's the summary exhibit that the court admitted pursuant to section 910.06, the Wisconsin statutes. A copy of that exhibit will be provided to Mr. Brooks right now, and that's being handed to him by Deputy District Attorney Leslie Basie. All right, anything else we need to address before we conclude for the weekend from the state?
The state is excusing from its subpoenas, with the court's permission, please, Officer Phillips, Kyle Edwards, and Holly Berg.
Have you received any of the subpoena forms from Mr. Brooks related to any of these witnesses? To assist with.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, because she's with Miss Daisy. So she also reminded me that you were going to rule later as to Detective Guth and Patterson. So we do not intend to recall these individuals. We would seek to release them from our subpoenas if they are on Mr. Brooks' witness list, which he has due on Monday, and he wants them subpoenaed. We would make arrangements to have them return. I guess the question is the exclusion order. See his witness list on Monday.
Let's wait to see the witness list on Monday, please. That's your due date. So I expect that will be filed. And then I can take up the issue of releasing individuals from their subpoenas from the district attorney's office. And then, of course, I'll take up Monday morning the issue with Exhibit 6. All right, Mr. Brooks, anything from you at this time?
I'm definitely gonna have subpoenas. Like I said, I would need to, I guess, confer with how to properly get them done and filed in the right fashion.
Mr. Brooks, I've advised you previously, I would be willing to review for completeness. You need to get those to me in a timely fashion. Your witness list is due Monday. And so I expect those subpoenas to be brought with you first thing Monday morning, so I can address with you and the state how any of those witnesses who are also listed on the state's witness list, we can address the logistics of that. If they're not on the state's witness list, that's a different situation, but the state has offered for any witnesses, and the state can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding you have offered for witnesses that are on the state's witness list, that if Mr. Brooks names them, and absent, I guess, any objection by you for some lawful reason, you would assist in getting those subpoenas to those individuals.
Yes, and you wouldn't necessarily be limited to our list. We've offered, in addition to that, if there are relevant witnesses and it's reasonable to get them served, that is the southeastern Wisconsin area, we will assist in that, Your Honor.
Thank you. That you brought that to my attention, and I didn't quite remember that. So get all your subpoenas together, get your witness list, and the state's offered some assistance in doing that.
I do want to state that I previously touched on that whole topic, that was one of my concerns when I was compiling my witness list was I gonna be calling anybody that they already had on their list. If you recall, I stated that for the record. That was.
You mean witnesses they actually call, or just witnesses who are on the list?
Both.
Well, if you want to question a witness and the witness is called by the state, that will be your opportunity to do that. Generally, that's how it's done. If you are asking to then have them recall during your case in chief, we can take that up at a later point in time, but you gotta have the subpoenas available, okay?
I follow that. I was wanted it stated for the record that I had raised that issue because at that time I still hadn't even gone through the entire witness list from the prosecution. It's 30 plus pages. That's a lot of names.
I
So
agree,
it was,
Mr.
it was
Brooks, there's a lot of names, but I
pretty
actually
impossible to
extended
know.
the filing deadlines. They all have come and passed, but I, obviously in light of you representing yourself, I extended that, gave and have ordered that you file your witness list by Monday. So that's how we will address that. Do you have any other issues at this time?
Yes, I do. The statement in particular that hasn't been responded to by affidavit. The notice of special appearance hasn't been
I
responded
direct
to.
your attention to the Barnaby decision, sir. The court's not going to be addressing that topic any further.
So what about the subject matter jurisdiction?
Sir, that's an argument that has been debunked repeatedly by the courts in the United States of America, all over the place. It is not recognized as any type of issue that a court needs to address. It is summarily denied.
Can you
Next
show
topic.
proof that it has no relevancy, Your Honor?
I direct you to the Barnaby decision, sir. All right.
Can you show proof of that,
Sir?
Your Honor? Verify? Can you show a verified affidavit of that?
No, all right. Mr. Brooks, the hearing today is concluded. We'll see everyone back here on Monday at 8:30 a.m. We are in
Would not answer
recess.
that question.
Ikuraku ramen. Is that what? Ikuraku ramen? Mommy. Mommy. You said Ikuraku ramen? Is did that Sean say? You said Ikuraku ramen.